A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Jerry, at Fair Oaks.
Nice town, isn't it?
Hey, Bumps, Mr. Randall, look.
Oh, what is it, Jerry?
That bus over there.
Where, Jerry?
That big blue bus right there in front of the station. See the big gold letters? It says Fair Oaks Military Academy.
Oh, well, sure enough.
And here comes a cadet. He just got out of it.
Say, that's pretty nice.
That's a mighty fine-looking young man in that uniform.
Hey, he's coming this way.
Yeah.
How do you do, gentlemen?
How do you do, young man?
Hello.
Are you Mr. Dugan?
Jerry.
You're Mr. Dugan, aren't you?
Oh, me? Oh, yeah.
I'm Cadet Phillips of Fair Oaks Military Academy. I've come down to get you. The school bus is right over here. If you'll just come with me, please.
Yes, sir.
Can you manage with your bags all right?
Oh, yes, thank you. We're all right. You just lead the way.
Say, he's snappy, isn't he?
He's a real cadet. Yes, sir. Makes me happy to think that Jerry will look like that soon.
They're sure keen-looking uniforms, aren't they?
You bet they are.
Here we are. Just step right in.
Yeah, well, just go right ahead, Jerry.
Come on, now.
Now, if you'll sit over here on the right, I'll try to point out some of the things of interest on our way to the campus.
Ah, fine, thanks. Sit right here, Jerry.
Okay.
All set, Kirk, but take it slow going back.
Okay, Phillips.
Now, as soon as we make this turn... here we are, right here. This is Fair Oaks Avenue, gentlemen. This is the main street of Fair Oaks and runs from the campus to the station.
Oh, it's a pretty little town.
Yes, sir, it is. Now, right here on this corner is the City Hall and Courthouse.
Nice buildings.
And across the street, there in the middle of the block, is our new post office. It was just completed a few months ago.
Say, that'd be a credit to any town. That's a fine-looking post office.
Yes, there's some fine-looking stores along here, too.
And if you'll notice this market on the next corner, the large one on the right.
Central Market. Hey, it is a big one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. The owner of that market was of the first graduating class at FMA.
FMA?
Fair Oaks Military Academy.
Oh.
You'll have to get used to that, Jerry.
I hope this isn't too much like a sightseeing tour.
Oh, no, I should say not, son. This is all very interesting.
When we get to this next corner, if you'll look right down to the end of the street, you'll see the Opera House. It's one of the oldest buildings around here. There it is, see it?
Oh,
yes, big one, too. Is it used anymore?
Yes, sir, once in a while. They have concerts there occasionally, and sometimes a traveling show comes through and plays there. Now, this gray building in the middle of the block, this is the public library.
Hey, is that the school right ahead?
Yes, you can see the archways now.
Oh, yes.
The big center arch is for automobiles, and the two smaller arches on either side are for pedestrians. But that doesn't mean you, Mr. Dugan, or me either.
Yeah, but we're pedestrians.
But we're also plebes.
Plebes? What's that?
Well, until you've finished your first year at FMA, you're called a plebe. That's another name for freshman. And we plebes don't have all the liberty an upperclassman enjoys. Now, the archway is only the first of many traditional customs you'll learn about. You won't be told about the archway again, so remember to use the driveway and not the walks on either side.
Well, look at that. It's a high brick wall.
Yes, sir. That wall runs all the way around the campus.
Bumps, just look at those big oak trees. Why, they're beautiful.
Yes, sir, they sure are, sir.
Fair Oaks is certainly a fitting name.
They're very old, sir.
Yeah, I can see that. And getting more beautiful with the years.
Excuse me, sir. This last building on the left, just before we enter the archway and get onto the campus.
Yes?
The last little store there, the one nearest the campus wall, that's a sort of hangout for the cadets during recreation periods.
Oh, it's an ice cream parlor.
That's right. But you can buy most anything there, from newspapers and magazines to shoe polish and soap.
Well, that's good to know.
An old Scotchman runs the place. His name's William McLeod. All the fellas think an awful lot of him. You'll like him too, Dugan. Well, we're on the campus now. See, that's Custis Hall straight ahead, the administration building.
Oh, is that where Major Davis's office is?
That's right, sir. Well, here we are.
All right, go ahead, Jerry. You get out first.
Come on, Rags.
Well, isn't this nice?
Ah, you bet. What do you think of it, Jerry?
Oh, I like it. Isn't the air nice and fresh?
It's a whole lot different than the backyard at the circus, all right.
Shall I wait? Oh, are you returning to the station soon?
Oh, say, that's right.
Yes, we're catching the limited.
Yeah, you'd better wait, Kirk.
All right, the bus will be here.
Might as well leave our luggage right in the bus, then.
Yeah, that's a ticket, sure.
Yes, your things will be safe there. Now, if you'll just come with me, please.
Hey, just look at those big pillars.
Yes, sir, and all those steps.
I'm beginning to like it already.
Oh, you love it here at Fair Oaks, Jerry.
Yeah, there's something grand about this building, Bumps.
You know, Mr. Randall, I feel kind of important being able to go to this school.
That's the way to feel, Jerry.
Hey, wait.
What is it, Jerry?
Look, up there over the doorway. See that motto? Toil is the father of fame. Carved right into the stone.
You just think of that, Jerry. Those are true words.
That's great. Toil is the father of fame.
Oh, he's holding the door open
All
for
right.
us. Come on.
Right through here, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a school flag up on the wall there. Blue and gold. Hey, those are the colors the bus is painted.
Those are our school colors, Dugan. Blue and gold.
I sure like them. Don't you, Bumps?
Pretty, Jerry. Very pretty.
Excuse me. This is Major Davis's office.
All right.
Cadet Phillips reporting, sir.
Have your party come in.
Yes, sir. Right this way, gentlemen.
Well, how do you do, Major Davis? I'm Mr. Randall.
I'm happy to know you, Mr. Randall.
This is Bumps, Major Davis, the head clown of my circus.
How do you do, sir? I'm glad to meet you, Mr. Major Davis.
And this is Jerry Dugan, Major.
Well, young man, welcome to Fair Oaks. Won't you sit down, gentlemen?
Thank you. Thanks.
That'll be all, Phillips. You might wait outside.
Yes, sir.
Rags, be quiet.
Well, a cute little fellow. Your dog, Jerry?
Yes, sir.
Another member of the Randall Brothers Circus, Major.
Well, so you've been with the circus, is that right, Jerry?
Yes, sir.
Well, we'll just talk a little bit about you, and while we're talking, I'll be filling out these admittance papers. If you care to, Mr. Randall, you can glance over this in the meanwhile. Here you are, sir.
Thanks.
That's the tuition fee and other expenses.
Oh, yes.
Now then, what was your father's name, Jerry?
Timothy Dugan.
Do you have any living relatives?
Yes, sir. My uncle. His name is Uncle Dan. Daniel Dugan.
Uh-huh. And Mr. Randall is your legal guardian?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll just make you out a check for the whole amount, Major Davis. The tuition, uniforms, and his expense money.
Fine, Mr. Randall.
Well, I don't like to interrupt, but...
What is it, Bumps?
Well, our train, Sam. We haven't got a whole lot of time.
Yeah, that's right. We want to catch that limited back, Major. I can't stay away from the circus too long.
Oh, no, that's too bad. Aren't you even going to look over the grounds and the building?
Well, I'd like to. Very much, in fact. But business is business, you know.
Well, perhaps you can come down here and pay Jerry a visit one of these days. By that time, he can take you around himself.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Now, let's see. You only have about 30 minutes before that train leaves. I'll make this as brief as possible. Perhaps you'd better fill this out yourself, Jerry. Pull your chair right up there to that desk.
All right.
Here's a pen.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You'll find the questions easy to answer. But if you get stuck, just call for help.
Yes, sir.
And here's the check, Major, for the full amount.
Thank you, Mr. Randall. Now, it's the custom, unless otherwise specified, to allow first-year students $1.50 a week spending.
Yeah, fine. It's quite all right. Well, I think it's safe to say that Jerry will get along all right at Fair Oaks.
I'm sure of it. How are you making out, Jerry?
Okay. I'm almost finished. Just 2 more questions to answer.
Good. Now, your mailing address, Mr. Randall... Oh, excuse me. I see it's right here on your check.
Yeah.
in care of your winter quarters. Mail address to you there will reach you at all times?
That's right, Major.
There. All finished.
Oh, so soon? Oh, look here, Jerry. You didn't answer the questions on the back.
Huh? Oh, I didn't notice that. I'm sorry.
Well, just fill those blank spaces out at the top of the page. Captain Gardner will fill out the questions about your past school activity when you get into the classroom.
Say, this is quite a school you have here, Major.
Yes, we're mighty proud of Fair Oaks. You know it's gratifying, Mr. Randall, to take in boys such as Jerry, and with a few years of training, education, and discipline, turn out men fully equipped to tackle life.
Yes, I can understand that, Major.
Now I finished it. Here, Major.
Well, that was quick, Jerry.
Now, how about Rags?
Rags?
My dog. Where's he going to stay?
Oh, I'm afraid, Jerry, we can't have your dog here at Fair Oaks.
But, well, Mr. Randall.
I thought perhaps we could make some kind of arrangements for the dog, Major Davis. Rags means a powerful lot to Jerry.
I'm sorry, Mr. Randall, very sorry. But that's one of our most stringent rules. No cadet at Fair Oaks is allowed to have a pet. You can readily understand that if we allowed one student to have his pet with him at school, it would hardly be fair not to allow other students the same privilege.
Well, now, that's right.
Yeah, but I can't leave Rags. I just can't. We've been together so long.
Now, Jerry, let's look at it this way. Let's think of Rags. He's part of the circus, son. Why, he'd grieve his heart out if he couldn't do his act with Bumps every day and have the backyard to run around in. Well, you know how much Bumps cares for him. Yes, and Slats and Hooligan and all the other clowns. Why, his life is just perfect with the circus.
Boy, I love that dog, Jerry.
I know you do, Bumps.
Why, sure, and I'll take the best of care of him. And you can visit with him at winter quarters. And maybe we can come down here and bring him along to visit with you.
Why, sure. We'll take Rags back to the circus with us. Why, he'll be happy and well taken care of. It should make you happy to know that, Jerry.
Gee, Rags.
Jerry?
Yes, sir?
What do you think of Cadet Phillips, the boy that met you at the train?
Oh, I like him. He's all right.
Do you think you'd get along with him?
I'm sure I would.
Well, Jerry, Lee is going to be your roommate.
Oh, swell.
Well, now, isn't that fine? Why, you couldn't have a better roommate, Jerry.
That's another tradition, Mr. Randall.
Huh?
As a rule, the boy that goes down to the train to meet the incoming student becomes the roommate of the new man.
Well, now, think of that.
Oh, say, that's fine. Hey, say, we've got to get going, Bumps.
Oh, I'll say we do. We'll just about make that train.
Well, Jerry, I guess we'll say goodbye for now. You study real hard and don't let us down. Remember, all your circus friends are expecting big things of you.
I will, Mr. Randall.
And don't you worry for 1 minute about Rags here. Oh, and another thing. You be sure to write that.
Sure, Bumps. Well, goodbye. Goodbye, Mr. Randall, and thanks for everything.
All right, Jerry.
Goodbye, Rags, old fella. You be a good dog, and I'll be thinking of you all the time.
Well, goodbye, Major. If there's anything further to take up with me, just drop me a line.
Yes, I'll do that. Goodbye, Mr. Randall.
Yeah.
And goodbye to you, sir.
Goodbye, Major. Come on, Rags.
Goodbye, Rags. Goodbye.
Yeah. Goodbye, Jerry.
Goodbye. Goodbye to you.
So long.
Phillips.
Yes, sir?
Take Cadet Dugan to your room now. Get acquainted with him and then see that he's outfitted in a fatigue uniform. I'll talk with you again later in the day, Jerry.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Jerry.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is smile. S-M-I-L-E.
Really? You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only... Groucho! That's me, Groucho Marx. Let's not overdo it now. Well, here I am again with $2,500 for one of our couples tonight. All right, Fennerman, who's supposed to try for the $2,500?
Well, we invited a number of newlyweds to the program tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Mr. and Mrs. Hindman, and here they are. Oh. Folks, come over here and meet Groucho Marx.
I see. A couple of newlyweds, eh? Jolly Hindman, is that right?
Hinman.
Oh, Hinman.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Hello, youngsters. Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. And if you say the secret word, you'll win $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. You may not use it, but you always have it with you. Now, Jolly Hinman. How newly wedded are you, Jolly?
1 3/4 months.
Mm-hmm. Here, things are looking up here tonight. Are you standing in a box?
No, I don't think so.
No, huh? You're pretty tall, aren't you?
Yes, I guess I am.
That's the understatement of the year. Huh? How tall are you, Jolly?
I'm 6'1". Is that with or without shoes?
Well, I don't know you that well. Huh? And what is your name? Runce?
Rouse.
Oh, Rouse, huh? Like Rouse, madam? Is that?
That's right.
How tall are you, Rouse?
I'm 6'5.5" without shoes.
You're crazy about being without shoes, you two. Well, it's obvious you're newlyweds. Your heads are in the clouds. Let's come down to earth and find out something about you two. What kind of work do you do?
Well, I work for Jolly's father.
I see. Now it comes out, huh? Nepotism in its most vicious form, huh? You work for Jolly's father?
Yes.
What do you do?
I work for Colby Poster Printing Company. That's his company, and I'm just learning the business there.
He's giving you the business eventually?
Possibly.
Now, were you working before you got married, Jolly?
No, I was going to school. I went to Los Angeles City College.
I see. Did you graduate from there?
No, I only went 1 year and got married.
You got married pretty early. Now, how'd you capture this fellow? Did you dig a deep pit and cover it with branches or something?
No, it's a pretty long story, but he came out to the Tip Topper Club where we met. And,
what is the Tip Topper Club?
It's a club for tall people. It's a social organization. And
you club each other?
No, not quite. Only after we're married. And then
you know she's doing better than I am.
And he asked me to dance, and so I danced with him, and so I was walking away because I liked this other guy, and he kept smiling at me.
You liked another fellow?
Huh? Yeah. I was going
Did you say smile?
Smile!
You said the secret word. 1 year in high school, and already she's got $100. Okay, now you were at this club, and you were dancing with another chap?
No, I was dancing with Rouse, and Rouse called me up the next day and asked me to go to a show and out to dinner. And so I went with him, hoping this other guy would call. And then my mother would say...
Women are so loyal.
My mother would say, well, she's not in, and then maybe he'd get the idea to ask me to go stay. So I went with
Your mother was
Rouse.
in the on this lying that you were doing?
I guess so. And so I went out with Rouse and had a very nice time, but this other guy still interests me more. So the next week, Rouse said he'd ask me...
Rouse is a bit on the schlemiel side.
And in the meantime, Rouse came out to different parties, and one was a picnic, and we were playing baseball, and he broke my little finger. And the next week, though, he broke his toe and got even. And then
Ross, you carry a blackjack as regular equipment?
And so we seemed to have something in common, but I was still going steady with this other guy.
Well, what about your
now.
finger?
Well, it was okay then.
And your toe, was it all healed up?
No,
I've had reinfections of it.
He had his toenail finally taken off after we were married.
Well, that's pretty funny, huh? There's something tragic about a man getting married with only 9 toenails. Not that so necessary, but it's nice to have them, I think. Now, Ross, tell me about your club. Could I join?
No, you couldn't.
Well, why not?
Well, we consider anybody under 6 feet shrimp.
That's as fishy an answer as I ever heard. Now, how big would I have to be to join your club?
Well, anybody that wants to get into the club has to be 6 foot 4 inches tall.
Any man would have to be that?
Any man, yes.
How about your wife? She's not 6 feet 4.
Well, she's a woman.
That's true. It never occurred to me. What you're saying is that women are different. Is that it?
That's it. In a way.
Well, live a little, learn a little. Well, you're a charming couple, and I know you'll be very happy together. May all your troubles be big ones. Now, in just a minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $2,500 question. Right now, I want you to pay close attention to Fenneman.
This is the season of the year to talk about courtesy. And so I'd like to say courtesy is not just a once-in-a-while thing at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. The folks there make a practice of being courteous all year round. And they're not only proud of the way they conduct their business, but equally proud of the 2 superb cars they handle. The DeSoto is their pride and joy, as fine a car value as money can buy. It's an expertly engineered car with that famous drive-without-shifting DeSoto transmission. It's a safe car to operate because of its big and responsive brakes that stop you quickly, easily. It's a real roomy car, too, up front, in back, and in the trunk. And as for style, no car has lovelier lines and richer appointments than the lavishly styled DeSoto. And as for value, you'll be amazed how far your dollars go today when you buy a brand new DeSoto. Remember, too, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the American beauty, the car that likes to be compared. So look for those 2 great names linked together, DeSoto, Plymouth.
Now, let's see if you 2 will get a chance at the $2,500. Fenneman, explain the rules.
Each of our 3 couples has $20. They bet as much of that $20 as they want on each of 4 questions. And the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $2,500 DeSoto Plymouth question at the end of the show.
Is that clear?
Fine.
Okay, here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected familiar movie roles. Now, here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you bet?
13.
Yeah, I think
13,
Yeah.
Who played Andy Hardy in the series of that name?
Mickey Rooney.
Mickey Rooney is right. How is Fenneman going to figure up how much money they got?
I have no idea either.
Fenneman is accustomed to dealing in round numbers.
I'm sorry.
I got the first one, though.
How much have they got?
$33.
You're the Einstein of the West, Fenneman. Remember, you're going for $2,500 tonight. Now, how much of the $33 will you bet on your second question?
What do you think?
Oh, to be 6 foot again. To be even 5 feet again.
23.
$23.
$23.
Okay. Who plays Hopalong Cassidy?
Oh, Bill Boyd.
Bill Boyd is right. $56. That's a very good magazine, the Bill Boyd. I read it all the time. Now you have how much? $56. Here's your third question. How much of the 56 will you risk?
45.
45. Who created the role of Lynn Belvedere in Sitting Pretty?
Oh, Clifton Webb.
Clifton Webb is right.
They're really up there now. They have $101.
Now we do it like a regular quiz show. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. Now, how much of the $101 you going to bet on this one? How much?
75.
How much you going to bet on this one now?
75.
Now, this is your last chance. You got $101. How much you going to bet now?
75.
75?
Yeah.
Okay. Who created the role of Tugboat Annie?
Oh, Marjorie Main.
No.
One answer between you. No coaching, please.
Let's see.
You'll have to throw out the question, and also the one who hollers. Take a stab at it now. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Marie Dressler. It's a tough one. But, how much have they got, Fetterman?
And they wind up with $26.
Well, that's not too bad, $26. That's $13 apiece. That's almost $1 a foot. Thanks and Happy New Year from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Well, Groucho, the secret word is still smile.
Still smile.
And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a fish dealer and a housewife to be on the program. And here they are, Mrs. Jean Gillen and Mr. Jack Berger. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life, kids. And if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Now, let's see. Mrs. Jean Gillen, huh?
Yes, sir.
You're the housewife. And Jack Berger? You're a fishmonger, is that right?
That's right.
Well, where are you from?
I'm from New York City originally.
You're from New York. And Mrs. Gillen?
I'm from the smoky city of Pittsburgh.
You're from the smoky city of Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Mrs. Gillen, you're living in the past. You're thinking of the Pittsburgh of 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah?
When they had winning ball clubs. Where is your husband? Why did you come to California?
Well, it was his idea.
I see.
My husband's
I
idea.
presume he's back in Pittsburgh?
Oh, no, he's out here now, too.
What does your husband do for a living?
He's a marine engineer.
A what?
A marine engineer.
A muddy engineer?
A marine.
Oh, marine engineer.
Yeah.
Oh, marine engineer, huh? You're Scotch, huh?
I sure am.
Oh, sure. Now I recognize the dialect. He's a marine engineer, and where does he operate?
Well, he's not working at it now, but he used to go to sea for quite a number of years. He was at sea.
What did he go to see? Do you remember?
Yeah, just to see what he could see.
I suppose in Scotland that's considered a pretty hot joke, huh? How did you meet him?
Well, when I came to this country at first, we were quarantined. We couldn't get into Ellis Island, and we were to go and stay on Pier 54. We were all made to go and sleep there. We stayed there for a week. Mm-hmm. And there was a crew from another ship came over with a band to entertain us, and we were doing the quadrilles.
But did you do the Highland Fling?
No, I was doing the quadrilles, and one part of the quadrilles, they swing you around, and the two big fellas swung me around. I slipped out with their arms, and I fell into the drum. So when he picked me up, this fella came over, he picked me up, So I didn't see him after that for 4 months, and I was at Coney Island with my sister one day, and we're at Luna Park in the Wheel of Fortune, that great big wheel that goes spinning round and round. Well, we went on that, and I sat on the wheel, and I got knocked off, and when I got knocked off, I got knocked right into him.
Well, did you get married while this thing was spinning around?
No, we eloped up to Middletown, New York, and got married.
Why did you elope?
Oh, well, I was scared of my mother.
Are you still scared of her?
No, not now. I'm a big girl now.
Has anything unusual ever happened to you?
Well, nothing very much unusual, but I've got my own back. My husband one time took $5 out of my pocketbook, and he got dressed up and went out. And when he came home that night, I went through his pockets and I found a program for the opera from New York. So the next morning when I made up his lunch, instead of putting any meat on his sandwich, I put the program in between one slice of bread.
Well, that's not a fish story, but it's a good meat story. Now, what fish market do you work for, Mr. Berger?
Jack's Fish and Poultry Market.
Uh-huh. Now, tell me, do fish have any special value as food? For example, are they packed with vitamins?
They are, and they are considered a brain food.
Seems to me if a fish had any brains, he'd still be in the water. What specifically, where do you get your fish? And don't say out of the Pacific either. Huh?
Well, we get our fish from many states. We get fish from Maine, from the state of Washington, from Massachusetts.
Boston, Massachusetts?
Oh, yes.
A lot of fish from Boston.
A lot of fish from Boston.
Do they swim there by themselves?
No.
Be pretty tired, but how do they get here? You know?
Well, fish from Boston, we fly. We bring them.
Oh, that's flying fish. Isn't it pretty expensive to fly your fish out here from Boston?
Well, it's pretty expensive, but it'd be more expensive to go to Boston than get it yourself.
Well, there's a great deal in what you say. Not too much, but some. Well, thanks to you, Jack. I know all there is to know about fish. Now, let's see if you can hook me for $2,500 DeSoto Plymouth clams. You run your $20 into more than our other couples. Fenneman's offstage to remind our listeners how much the first couple won.
The newlyweds won $27.
Here we go. Now, let's see how high I can bid you $20. You selected famous words. Now, here's your first question. How much will you bet?
$15.
Is that all right with you?
All right for me, yeah.
All right. To what are these the opening words? In the beginning?
The opening words of the creation. In the beginning, the Lord made the heaven.
Well, I think that's right. It's the first words of the Bible.
Well, you think along the way, you have $35.
Stop shouting in my ear, Sam. Remember, you're going for $2,500 tonight. Now, how much of your $35 will you risk on your second question?
$25.
All right. To what are these the opening words? We, the people.
The Constitution.
The Constitution of the United States. $60. All right, you got $60. Now, here's your third question. How much of the 60 you going to go for?
50. 50.
All right, $50. To what are these the opening words? 7 years ago.
Gettysburg Address.
Gettysburg Address is correct.
$110.
And here's your last chance to beat the other couples. Now, how much of the 110 are you going to go for?
$100.
Yeah, okay.
$100.
All right, so what are these the opening words? When in the course of human events... Talk it over.
The Declaration.
Declaration of Independence. And they wind up. You just don't really make it down. And they wind up with $210. Thanks and Happy New Year from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
The secret word is still smile.
Still smile.
Still smile. And we invited some college football players to the program tonight. And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Paul McMurtry. His partner is a judo expert, June Tegner. And here they are. Folks, I'd like you to meet Groucho Marx. Right up here, please.
Well, welcome to your Bet Your Life. And if you say the secret word, I'll split $100 between you. It's a common word, something you always have with you. June Tegner, you're the judo expert?
Yes.
What is judo?
Well, it's the art of self-defense.
Well, thanks for the warning, eh? And Paul McMurtry, you're the football player.
That's right.
Where are you from, Paul?
I'm originally from Rio Hondo, Texas.
How do you spell that?
RIOHONDO.
Not bad for a football player. Well, you're certainly a big hunk of man. Now, how much do you weigh on the hoof?
About 230.
How old are you, Paul?
31 years old.
And where do you play football?
USC.
USC, and you're 31 years old?
That's right.
What position do you play on the USC football squad?
I play right guard.
Why do you play that?
That's where the coach puts me.
What do you want to be when you graduate from college, if you ever do?
I'd like to be a football coach.
Well, how come you're in college at this age? Isn't that rather unusual to be there at that age?
Well,
you don't look dumb.
I spent 8 years in the Navy.
Oh, you didn't say that, huh? You'll forgive me for those cheap insults before, won't you, Paul?
Sure thing.
You better, huh? June, let's talk about judo, eh? What does judo mean in Japanese?
Well, judo is Japanese. In English, it means soft way.
The soft way? And what is the soft way? What can you do to a man with judo?
Well, you can throw him or break his arm or stun him or knock him out or kill him, anything you want to do.
And that's the soft way? I won't ask you what's the hard way. Do you have a job, June?
Oh, yes, I teach at the National Judo Association in Hollywood on the Sunset Strip. It's the oldest school in this country.
It is, huh? Is it old enough for him to get in? June, do you think a knowledge of judo would help our football hero here out on the field?
Well, it may not help him out on the field, but it would certainly help him off the field.
Well, you'd have to have some kind of help off the field, I guess. Could you use her on your football team?
You sure could.
It would never work. I never saw a football game where both teams were chasing the same player. Well, June, in your work as a judo instructor, has anything embarrassing ever happened to you?
Well, yes, a lot of things that, there's one.
One specifically that you could tell us about?
Well, I was in the show with my sister once. And,
in a show? What kind of a show?
A movie, theater. And there was a masher sitting alongside of me, and he put his arm around me. And so I used the nerve center where I push against his head. You know, I pushed him back, and he's laying back over the seat, and my sister and I were eating popcorn. He's making a lot of noise, and he's gasping, and people are saying, be quiet. They're quiet down front, so I started stuffing popcorn down his mouth. I was embarrassed.
Well, that's very interesting. What was the name of the picture? Do you remember? Was it Great Expectations? What, was it buttered popcorn?
Solid.
I think that's the best kind to strangle a man with. Well, it's been very interesting having you two here tonight. And June, anytime you want to demonstrate any of your holds on me, just remember I'm all tied up. Now you're going to play your bet your life. You beat our other two couples, you'll get a chance at the $2,500 DeSoto Plymouth question.
The fish dealer and the housewife are ahead with $210.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. Now, you're a college boy. You ought to be pretty good at this. You selected bowl games. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. How much are you going to bet?
14.
Then you're getting strange sums here tonight. This is all a plot against you, Fenneman.
Sure it is.
All right. You're going to bet $14. In what city is the Sugar Bowl game played? The Sugar Bowl game.
New Orleans, Louisiana.
New Orleans is right. $24. Remember, you're going for $2,500 tonight. Now, how much of the $24? You did a masterly job there. Huh? How much have they got?
$24.
That's all they've got? I told you Fenneman couldn't count, huh? I've been watching him for years up here.
You're right. $34.
Isn't it pitiful? There's a grown man with 3 children. He can't count up to 34. Huh? All right, you're going to bet how much?
29.
29. Fenneman, they're after you tonight. You better start figuring now, huh?
29.
Yes. Where is the Cotton Bowl game played?
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas.
How about 63?
That's all right with me, huh? Here's your third question. How much of the 63 you going to go for?
39.
All right. Where is the Shrine East-West game played?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
$102.
You got $102, and it's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
$11.
$11.
Well, that's a very thrifty play there, huh? Now, what city plays host to the Orange Bowl game?
Miami, Florida.
Miami, Florida is right. He knows all the answers, but he's just teasing me on each one.
And they wind up with $113.
Splendid, Fenneman. You've done a magnificent job tonight, huh?
I was going on to say that means the housewife and the fish dealer with $210 get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $2,500 question.
You know, there are more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers located throughout the country. This means that as you travel, on business or perhaps on a vacation, you can rest assured you're not too far from a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. A car dealer equipped to render the same kind of expert service you're used to getting from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer in your own hometown. A dealer with a supply of factory-inspected and approved Mopar parts. A dealer who wants to serve you just as honestly and skillfully as the DeSoto Plymouth dealer where you live. Yes, it's a big organization, and it's bound together by a common desire to do good work at a fair price. So wherever you are, or wherever you drive, come in where you see the familiar sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
And here's the housewife and the fish salesman all set for the DeSoto Plymouth Big Question, Groucho.
Well, here's little Scotty again and the old fish man, huh? All right, now here we go for $2,500. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. So think carefully and please no help from the audience. Here it is. You got your thinking caps on?
Should have.
Aye. Well, the most beautiful building in the world is located at Agra, India. A-G-R-A, India. What building am I talking about?
Taj Mahal.
Taj Mahal! That's right. You win $2,500. You got the right answer, so you win $2,500. Now, what are you going to do with all that swag?
Well, I have a daughter when she was a little girl that miraculously recovered from polio. And I feel winning this money, the first I've ever won in my life, and I'm going to donate $500 to the Infantile Paralysis Fund.
Well, thank you. That's a wonderful way to spend the money. And what are you going to do with your swag?
Oh, well, I just don't know what I'm going to do. I'm so flabbergasted.
Well, let's say you weren't flabbergasted. What are you going to do with the money?
Well, I have a daughter married to a GI, and he's gone to school, and I haven't seen her for a long while, and there's lots of things I can do for them. They're just starting up.
That's right. Well, let's see. You win $2,500 plus $210 in the quiz. You really cleaned up tonight. Congratulations and a Happy New Year from the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. You bet your life.
Thank you.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, folks, tell them Groucho sent you. Just be sure to see your DeSoto Plymouth car.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Ease up when there's a freeze-up. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fendelman, signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
This is is Bill Goodwin speaking for Lever Brothers, makers of Swan, the new white floating soap. Well, it's Tuesday night again, time for another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen, their two distinguished guests, Jose Iturbe and Deems Taylor, Jimmy Cash, and Paul Whiteman and his music. And now meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie. Well, Gracie is still determined to play at Paul Whiteman's concert at Carnegie Hall next Tuesday. She's practicing now, and George and Paul are trying to make her listen to reason.
Gracie, you can't do this to me. You'll ruin my reputation.
What'd you say, Paul?
I said you can't do this to me. You'll ruin my reputation.
What'd you say, Paul?
For Pete's sake, will you stop playing and listen? Paul said you'll ruin his reputation.
Oh, well, that's silly, Paul. We won't be alone in Carnegie Hall. Thousands of people will be there.
Yeah, that's what he was afraid of.
But, Paul, I played with you last year at a concert given by the Beverly Hills Uplift Society.
But this is different. This is Carnegie Hall. All the critics will be there.
What'd you say, Paul?
I said all the critics will be there.
Pardon me, Paul. Hello? Oh, yes, the insurance company. Well, look, here's what I wanted. I'm going to play the piano in Carnegie Hall, and I want to insure my finger. Which finger? Why, the one I play the piano with. What? Oh, my, that's a lot of money. Well, I'll tell you what. Just insure it up to the first knuckle. Goodbye.
Gracie, we've been friends for a long time. Why don't you forget the concert?
What'd you say, Paul?
I said forget this concert.
Pardon me, Paul. Hello? Oh, hello, Mr. Steinway. No, I haven't decided yet. I may use yours or I may use somebody else's. Yes, I understand that you're willing to pay me. Well, I'll let you know later. Goodbye, Mr. Steinway.
You mean Mr. Steinway is willing to pay you? Steinway, the piano maker?
No, this Mr. Steinway makes celery tonic.
Celery tonic?
Yes, he wants me to have a bottle of it on the piano when I appear at Carnegie Hall.
Oh, Max Steinway celery tonic.
Yes.
Well, that's a real artistic touch.
Gracie, you've got to call this off. I won't stand for
What'd
it.
you say, Paul?
He said he won't stand for it.
Oh, persecute me as much as you like. I don't mind. Life has never been kind to great musicians. Look at Rimsky-Korsakov. Life must have been very difficult for him, especially if he liked to drink.
If he liked to drink?
Yes. Suppose he had a few drinks and somebody said, "Who are you?" And he had to say, "I'm Rimsky-Korsakov."
Yes, that's even hard to say when you're sober.
Yes.
Look, Gracie, you can't go through with this. It's musical suicide.
Oh, pardon me,
Critics
Paul,
will pan
pardon
me.
me.
They'll be on my ear. I can't begin to tell you what to...
Well, it looks like we can't stop her, Paul. Yes, sir, that's what it looks like. We can't stop her.
That's great. They used to call me the king of jazz, but from now on I'll be called the Mussolini of music.
Hi, fellas, what's doing?
Bill, look, we can't make Gracie give up the concert. Have you any ideas?
Well, let me see, George. Have you tried threatening her?
Bill, I told her that if she went through with this concert, she could start looking for a new husband.
Uh-huh. Well, why don't you try threatening her?
Well, what do you want me to do? Threaten to beat her? Threaten to whip her or to stop her?
Oh, now you can make a worse threat than that, George.
What?
Threaten to take away her Swan soap. Now, Gracie knows that Swan is the new white floating soap that's purer than finest Castiles, a regular suds and whips.
Bill, this is serious. Paul Whiteman's reputation is at stake.
Yeah, what do you think those critics are going to do to me?
The critics? Well, Paul, as the bar Swan said to the dirty dishes, here's where you get panned.
Oh, no.
You know, George, Swan is really great in that dishpan because it's purer than finest Castiles, and because it suds faster than other white floating soaps. And because it's purer than finest Castiles, it's kind to your hands. Helps keep them soft and lovely. So use Swan for every soap and water job around the house.
Bill, if you can think of a way to keep Gracie from playing the piano in Carnegie Hall, say so. And if you can't...
Wait, George, I've got it. Listen, I'll have a microphone in the wings, and every time Gracie starts to play, I'll start to sing and drown her out, huh?
You'll sing?
Oh, sure, Paul. Something popular like, break it off, break your bar, Swan in two. Break it off, break it off. Break it off.
Paul!
Well, George, you get the idea. I sing about Swan breaking in two with a simple twist of the wrist, so you can use half in the kitchen for dishes and cleaning and the other half in the bathroom for your hands and face.
Bill, I've got enough trouble. You're not going to sing about Swan at my concert.
Oh, well, Paul, if Gracie plays the piano, the whole concert will be your Swan song. Goodbye.
Well, he was a big help. I wish I knew someone who could just talk Gracie out of this.
Say, wait a minute. What about Deems Taylor?
Deems Taylor?
Yeah, you know, that big shot with the Allegro and Dottie mob.
Do you really think he can help us?
Sure. If Deems tells Gracie not to play, she won't play. Nobody in music packs more weight than he does.
Well, I wouldn't say that, Paul.
Slip of the tongue, George. Slip of the tongue.
Oh, Gracie.
In here.
Gracie, I'd like to talk.
Later, dear. Herman and I are busy discussing the opera, aren't we, darling?
Well, that's fine. Discussing opera with a silly duck. Oh, yeah? Well, you're one with feathers.
Well, I don't blame Herman a bit. He thinks we don't know anything about opera, Herman. Well, come on, darling. Let's show him. Ready? Da 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 da.
Oh, no.
Da 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 da.
This is awful.
It is not. Don't mind him, Herman. I think you're wonderful. Come on. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
There's a big hit from a new picture. And the boys come up with their arrangement of Taking a Chance on Love.
Gracie, will you please give up the silly concert?
No, George, and let's not argue any further. You just don't realize that I've got music inside of me.
Okay, but do you have to let it out in Carnegie Hall?
It's just no use, George.
Well, maybe I can't talk you out of it, but I'm expecting someone here any minute who can. Deems Taylor.
Who?
Deems Taylor. Don't you know who Deems Taylor is?
I don't even know who Deem is.
Gracie, Deems Taylor is one of the finest musicians in America.
I don't care. He can't talk me out of it.
But he's important. He's even composed a couple of operas.
He has?
Sure.
Real operas like Carmen or Miranda?
Yeah, the names of his last two are Faust and Luce. Come in.
How do you do? I'm James Taylor.
Well, come right in, Mr. Taylor. I'm George Burns, and this is Gracie.
Hello, and you can't talk me out of it.
Well, Gracie, in fairness to you, I think I ought to hear you play before we begin this discussion. Would you?
Oh, well, gladly. This is the piece I'm going to present in Carnegie Hall.
That's all of it?
Well, yes. Didn't it do something to you?
Certainly did. I'm sure it did something to Chopin, too, and he's not even here.
You see, George, Mr. Taylor thinks I'm wonderful.
You'd better straighten this out fast, Deems.
Right. Gracie, I'm a man who has devoted his life to the classical traditions of music. In fact, well, many people refer to me as a long-haired musician.
Oh, that's not nice. They shouldn't make fun of you just because you haven't...
Gracie.
Well, he hasn't.
Never mind.
No, I mean that I'm qualified to defend those traditions. Really, Gracie, you shouldn't play in Carnegie Hall.
Why not?
Well, may I tell you a little story?
Well, can George hear it too, or is it, you know?
Well, no, this story hasn't even a trace of, you know. It concerns a young man of my acquaintance, a real virtuoso.
Oh, doesn't drink or smoke, huh?
As far as I know, he doesn't even chew gum. But that's beside the point. For years, this young man has been trying to get into Carnegie Hall. 12 hours every day he sits at the piano. No food, no rest. But he doesn't mind that. Only one thing bothers him.
No cushion.
He doesn't need a cushion. Gracie, don't you understand why I told you that story?
Well, of course I do.
Good.
You want me to give the poor man a ticket to my concert?
George.
I know, Deems. That's Gracie.
She must be so confusing to come home to. You said it.
Well, you see, Mr. Taylor, I don't have to practice like that poor man. Mine is a natural gift. My whole family is musical.
Indeed.
Oh, yes, indeed. It only took my sister Bessie 5 years to learn to play the cello.
Well, isn't 5 years rather long to learn to play the cello?
Well, I don't think so. Not when you consider that for 4 years she thought she was supposed to blow into it.
George!
I know.
Baffling, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, come in.
Hello, Gracie. Oh, I see you have company.
Mr. Taylor, this is my girlfriend, Tootsie Sagwell. I hope you'll forgive her if she seems a little forward. You see, she's simply crazy about musicians and other types of men.
Say, Deems, you were talking to Gracie, remember?
Oh, yes. As I was saying, Gracie, your musical talent is at least open
He's cute,
to...
isn't he, Tootsie?
Yeah. I love his dimples.
Girls, would you please let the man talk? Go ahead, Deems.
Thanks. Well, as I was saying, Gracie, your musical talent isn't what you might
Don't you
call...
think his eyes are nice, Tootsie? Trustful, sort of like a St. Bernard.
Yes, and I adore that straight nose and that high forehead.
Look, would you girls just stop dissecting me just long enough for me to finish a sentence? As I was saying, Gracie...
Don't you love his ears, Tootsie? He's got so much character in them.
Gracie, I'm telling you for the last time, I want you to listen to what Deems is saying. And don't interrupt him again.
Yes, dear. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Deems.
Well, as I was saying, music, Gracie, is a thing that one either has within him or one doesn't have at all. Now, I want to be fair in your case. I've given the matter very careful consideration, and, Gracie,
You
it's
don't
my
think he's
honest
too old for
opinion.
you, do you, Tootsie?
Well, that I'm not quite sure of, Gracie, but don't worry, I'm planning to find out.
Oh, no, you're not. I'm getting you out of here right now. Goodbye.
Wait, Deems. You can't go. Think what will happen to music.
Brother, I can't stay. Think what will happen to me.
That's fine. Now look what you've done. Chase Deems Taylor right out of the place.
Well, George, this time I don't blame you for being upset. I know you feel awful about it, and I do too. Really, I do.
Well, you ought to feel awful.
Oh, I do. He was the nicest fiancé Tootsie ever had. Oh, don't cry, Tootsie. I'd do anything to get you a fella. Anything. I'd even give up my musical career. Oh, Gracie. Oh, Tootsie.
Oh, nuts. Cut it out.
There's a rose that grows on no man's land, and it's wonderful to see.
The rose Jimmy Cash is singing of is the girl who walked through the heat of gunfire, through the fog of shell smoke, who stopped her march only to help the wounded. The girl who wears the Red Cross. It's the Red Cross which comes to the boys to heal their wounds. The men and women of the Red Cross stand beside our boys, beside your boy, in every battle zone. But they may stand there with empty hands, with no way to give help now that the need is greatest, if they are not supplied with the weapons of mercy. Give to the Red Cross so that it may continue to give to the fighting men it serves.
Mid the war's great curse and the Red Cross nurse, she's the rose of no man's
All right. How do you do? I'm for security. How do you do? Paul Whiteman phoned and said you were coming, Mr. Turby. Do you think you can keep Gracie from doing this concert?
Mm-hmm. Certainly. I will tell your wife that I, myself, will play for Mr. Whiteman.
You don't know my wife. She thinks she's a better pianist than you'll ever be.
You must marry some very peculiar people, Mr. Burns.
Yes, that I do. Oh, Gracie.
Yes, dear.
Gracie, I'd like you to meet Senor Hosea Turby.
Senor Turby? Oh, aren't you the man who sells my husband his cigars?
Gracie, Mr. Turby sells very few cigars. Maybe not a half a dozen Coronas a month.
Oh.
I am a pianist, Mrs. Burns. And I would like to play in Carnegie Hall next week instead of you.
Why, Mr. Turby, do you want to ruin Paul Whiteman's concert?
It wouldn't ruin it. Really, I play the piano as well as you do.
Oh, please.
But I do. I do. Suppose we have a little contest to decide who is the better pianist.
Well, that's all right with me. And may the best woman win.
Well, this is what I've been waiting for.
Now, I want you to listen very carefully, Mr. Turby.
Well, go on.
Well, that's the piece I'm going to play in Carnegie Hall.
That?
Well, sure.
Esta mujer está completamente fuera de
I know just how you feel, Jose.
Now, I want you to listen very carefully, Mrs. Burns, while I play.
Oh, come in.
Hello, people. What goes on?
Shh, Bill. Mr. Turby is just about to play something on the piano.
Oh, gee, it's Jose Turby, the maestro himself. Oh, Mr. Turby, this is a great thrill for me.
Well, thank you.
Yes, you see, I'm studying the piano myself, and, well, I know you great artists don't usually divulge your professional secrets, but, would you tell me something?
Certainly. What is it?
Well, Mr. Turby, do you wash your hands with Swan? Swan, the new white floating soap that's purer than finest Castiles. You know, money can't buy a purer soap.
Bill, for heaven's sake, Mr. Turby is just about to play.
Really? Oh, well, I want to hear this. I wouldn't stop Jose Turby from playing.
Thank you.
Oh, wow! You're a murder maestro. Murder! How long have you been playing the piano?
I started to play when I was 3.
Get that, George. 3 years old, an infant prodigy, a baby. Did your mother bathe you with Swan, Mr. Turby? Bill, Swan is great for bathing the baby, you know. It's so pure that it's kind even to a little baby's tender skin. So you know it must be great for your hands and face, your tub or shower. Well, go ahead, play.
Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Turby.
What now?
You're from Spain, aren't you?
Yes.
Of course, you've visited Castile.
Certainly.
Well, you know, Jose, women have long considered Castile soap the standard of purity. But Swan is even purer than finest Castile.
All right, Bill, that's the last straw. Out.
Well, okay, George, I'm going. Well, so long, Mr. Turby. Certainly was a thrill to hear you play.
Well, I'm sorry about the interruption, Jose.
Oh, that's all right. I understand.
Oh, good. Well, go right ahead and play.
Oh, yes, by all means, Mr. Turby.
Now, quiet. Well, J.C.?
Well, it was nice, but of course I'm a concert artist and I don't know anything about that boogie-woogie.
Boogie-woogie?
Well, it's obvious who won the contest, Mr. Turvey, but don't take it to heart. You play very nicely with some of your fingers.
This is too much.
Well, goodbye, Mr. Turvey. I have to get back to my girlfriend. She had a very sad experience today. She lost her fiancé, and I promised her I'd do anything in the world to get... Hey, wait a minute. Mr. Turvey, would you really like to play that concert?
I certainly would.
Well, I think it might be arranged.
Really? You'll let him do it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy, that's all I want to hear. Wait till I tell Whiteman the good news.
Good. Now everybody's happy, and the concert will be a true artistic success. I will lay them in the aisles. Well, so long.
Oh, wait, Mr. Turvey, that isn't all. Have you heard the expression, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours?
Mm-hmm. No, but it sounds like fun.
Well, it means swapping favors. I've done you a favor. Now, I want you to do me a favor.
What do you want me to do?
Well, I want you to make love to a girl.
That's a favor?
Yes.
What sort of a girl is she?
Well, what sort of a girl do you like?
Mm-hmm. Well, I like them blonde. I like them brunette. I like them tall. I like them short. See what I mean?
Well, how wonderful! I found a man for Tootsie.
Tootsie?
Yeah, and just wait until you see her. She's so different. She's right in the other room.
I must feast my eyes on these little tomatoes. Ask them to come out.
Oh, Tootsie.
Yes, Gracie?
Mr. Jose Turvey, a piano player, is out here. He'd like to meet you.
Yes, Tootsie, please, come out.
Well, all right.
Here I am.
Please, go back in. Mrs. Burns, may I ask you a question?
Yes, Mr. Turvey?
This is, a girl? I will go even further. This is, a woman?
Well, she's my very dearest friend. And don't forget, either you make love to Tootsie or I'll play the concert.
You are a very tough character, Mrs. Burns.
Well, what do you say?
This is the most difficult decision. If I don't make love to Tootsie, you will play the concert.
Yes.
If that happens, I will never be able to hold up my head again. Everyone will say, Jose Turvey is a traitor to music.
Oh, come, Mr. Turvey. Are you a coward?
Enough. I have made up my mind.
Well, here's Paul, Jose. I told him the good news.
Yes, Jose, and I can't thank you enough. Well, you saved my life.
Mine, too. For the first time in 3 weeks, I can relax.
Oh, what a wonderful feeling. Now, Jose, how about playing the number we'll hear at my concert?
Okay, boys. This is the number you will hear at Carnegie Hall next Tuesday night.
Quiet, everybody. Go ahead, Jose.
Gracie will be right back, so I've just time to remind you that although Swan is purer than finest Castiles, it's economical for every soap and water job around the house. In the bath, Swan gives more soap per penny than any leading toilet soap tested. And in the kitchen, Swan saves over easy-to-waste package soaps. So help save your hands, and incidentally save your pocketbook, with Swan, the new white floating soap that's purer than finest Castiles. And now here they are again, George and Gracie.
George, I've been thinking things over. This concert is coming between us.
It certainly is.
After all, I'm first the wife and second the musician.
That's right.
My first duty is to you.
Absolutely.
Well, here's a ticket in the first row at Carnegie Hall next Tuesday.
Good night,
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in to your CBS station at the same time again next week, when Gracie will be guest soloist in Paul Whiteman's concert at Carnegie Hall. Remember, George Burns and Gracie Allen, CBS next Tuesday night. And don't forget to listen to Swan's other show, Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou, next Friday night over another network. And now, till next week at the same time, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Night.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. KNX Los Angeles, the voice of Hollywood.
Andy, you know what day this is?
Certainly, Amos. It's Tuesday.
That's right, and Tuesday means we got to go to work for Rinso.
Yes, sir. Rinso, the soap that gets clothes Rinso White and Rinso Bright, brings you the Amos and Andy Show with...
I'm Gary Gibson. Yes, I'm Gary Gibson.
I'm sorry. Sorry to bother.
Harry McDaniel as Fanny Simpson. Bud Gluskin and his orchestra. So famous Delta Rhythm Boys. Now, the makers of Rinso invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the story of Amos and Andy. This summer, Andy has taken a job at a summer resort. His friends, Amos and the Kingfish, decided to go up for the closing weekend. They haven't seen much of Andy since he has met one of the local girls whose financial setup appeals to him. Right now, Andy and his girl are rowing in a nearby lake.
Oh, Louise, this rowing on the lake is great exercise.
Sure is, Andy.
Anytime you get tired, honey, I'll take over.
It's nice being out here in the lake.
Yeah, I like to let my feet drag along in the water here.
I bet it feels good, don't it?
Yeah, I caught a halibut once this way.
Well, let's drift along the shore here, Andy.
Yeah, let's do that. You know, Louise, this has been a wonderful summer. I'm really in love with you with all my heart.
And I've been wondering about that. Will you love me for myself or that inheritance I'm getting next September?
Oh, Louise, darling, how can you say anything like that? I wanted to marry you the first time I seed you in the bank.
You know, I think I love you too, Andy, but I don't know where to marry you. You see, I don't want to move to the city. There's only one spot where I want to live.
Your spot is my spot.
Right over there in Rocky Hills, right at the top. It's the one and only place I'll ever live.
Well, I done made a lot of money this summer over at the hotel, enough to buy a lot and finance your house. Let's consider ourselves engaged and the wedding to take place in the near future. I is crazy about you, honey.
Oh, Andy, sure enough. Kiss me.
When we get back. I don't want to take my feet out the water. Hey, Amos, come here. I've been looking all over for you. How you like it up here in the country?
Oh, great, Andy. Say, what's this I've been hearing about you?
It's true, Amos. I is engaged to be married to a gal I done met up here.
Yeah, well, that's good news, son. Tell me, is she an attractive gal?
No, the fact is she's on the homely side, but her money is good looking.
Yeah?
I can carry that round in my wallet instead of her picture.
Yeah, but who is she, Andy?
One of the local belles up here. Her name is Louise Henderson. She got a fat face and a fat body.
And a fat pocketbook, huh?
Wait a minute. Here come the Kingfish down the street.
Yeah, this is the first time I see him on the street since he's been up here.
Yeah, well, you see, he got a job with a real estate office up here to fray his expenses, and it so happened that the Kingfishers company is handling the lot where me and my gal wants to live.
Well, hello there, boy. Well, Brother Andy, everybody's excited about you getting married. Happy nuptials, son. Happy nuptials.
Thank you, Kingfish.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Kingfish, it looked like Andy going to take the big step and join the League of Frightened Men. Oh, marriage is a wonderful thing, though. What could be more beautiful than two people entering the state of holy deadlock?
Say, Kingfish, you say you're going to take me up to see that lot today. How about it?
Oh, yeah, that's what I come over here for, Andy. I got a car right out here now. Now, come on, we'll ride up to the property. Yeah, take a good look at it, too, before you buy it, Andy.
Yeah. Of course, I only got $500 to spend altogether.
Oh, well, I think I can get the lot for you for $200.
Oh, great. That leaves me $300 for the house.
And that's a very exclusive section. Very exclusive.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear that. Because I wouldn't want to put up a $300 house and have some other people come up there and build some cheap houses around.
Yeah, well, Andy, this is as far as we can go in the car. We got to get the rest of the way on foot.
This is pretty high, ain't it?
Yeah, I guess the altitude up here is around 8,000 feet.
Don't you think this is too steep a place for a home?
Oh, no, Andy, it's perfect. Here, tie this rope around your waist. I'll tie it around my waist, too. Grab a pick out the car there, and we'll go on up here.
You don't think this is too hilly, do you?
Oh, no, this is great, Andy. Just grab onto the trees now and go on up. Now, don't slip on the rocks. Did you got on rubber heels?
No, but with the holes in the bottom of my shoes, I can get a grip with the ball of my feet.
Easy now. Just take it easy.
Say, Kingfish, what is them big piles of dirt way, way down there in the ravine?
Oh, where?
See them way down there?
Them is two lots that used to be up next to yours. It seems that they had an avalanche there yesterday, but it won't happen again in 1,000 years.
Well, this is plenty steep. Is we getting near the lot?
Yeah, I think we better go the rest of the way, though, crawling on all fours here now. Get down there and let's sort of slide up there.
Yeah, okay.
Now, as I see the general layout, Jan, this place we are crawling up now will be the main pathway to your house. Makes a nice entrance, don't it?
I don't know, Kingfish. I might be old-fashioned, but I'd rather walk home standing up.
Andy, you missed the whole beauty of the thing. This is going to be your home after you was married. Just picture this. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you was coming home. Your wife is standing right up there with arms outstretched as you crawl up to her on your stomach. Andy, I envy you, boy.
Yeah, well, when does we get to the place?
Oh, wait a minute. Here we is right here now. I think that, this is it. Yeah. Now, give me your foot, and I'll boost you up on your lot.
Yeah, okay.
All right. There you.
Yeah.
Now, give me your hand up there. Hold on there.
Yeah, there it is.
All right. Now, move over a couple inches there.
Nah.
Hold on to that tree so you won't drop in the ravine there.
What part of the lot is we on now?
This would be your front lawn. Would you like to crawl around the rest of the lot?
No. I can see everything right here.
Tell me this, Andy, how you like it?
Well, for one thing, the lot is too big. I don't want all this ground.
Oh, it ain't too big, Andy.
I say it's too big.
Wait a minute, hold on to that tree quick. Ain't too big now, is it?
Hey, look here. That was another avalanche.
Well, wait a minute. That's the last avalanche we're going to have. Now, wait a minute, Andy. Now, forget them. Just look around, Andy. Don't you realize what a beautiful spot this would be for a home? As the poets would say, this is a vegetable paradise.
Listen, Kingfish, we couldn't even keep a dog up here on a steep hill like this.
Oh, well, get yourself a mountain goat for a pet. Another thing, they don't bark all night.
Yeah, but they butt.
Well, let them butt. Some night when you come home all tired out, he can butt you up the hill, eh?
Yeah.
Now, there's one thing that you was forgetting, Andy. Didn't your finance Louise say that this is the only place that she wanted to live at?
Yeah, that's right. I guess I better make her happy and buy this place.
Yeah, now that's $200, Andy.
It's a deal. I guess me and Louise can be happy up here.
Oh, I know you can, Andy. Another thing, you kind of love her, don't you?
Yeah, don't forget you got money.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it is that. Sometime when I was out here in the country by myself, the birds seemed to be chirping her name. And sometimes when the wind is blowing,
Every little breeze seems to whisper Louise. Birds in the trees seem to twitter Louise. Each little rose tells me it knows I love you. Love you. Every little beat that I feel in my heart seems to repeat what I felt at the start. Each little sigh tells me that I adore you, Louise. Just to see and hear you brings joy I never knew. But to be so near you thrills me through and through. Anyone can see why I wanted your kiss. It had to be, but the wonder is this. Can it be true? Someone like you could love me, Louise. Say, won't you tell me, please, tell me, Louise. Why do you tease? All I want is a squeeze. You know you're the one for me. Often when I'm gloomy and in my lonely room, thoughts of you come to me like sweet perfume. Anyone can see why I wanted your kiss. It had to be, but the wonder is this. Can it be true? Someone like you could love me. Lovely Louise.
Rinso white. Rinso bright.
For a wash that's dazzling as it can be, give it the Rinso 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
It's a fact. Rinso gets out stubborn dirt 1, 2, 3. For Rinso has a triple action formula. Yes, Rinso gives you all three. 1, Rinso's soapy rich base makes suds that drive deep down. Gets out stubborn dirt without hard rubbing or scrubbing. 2, Rinso's suds booster means even in hard water, you get heaps of hard-working suds, and fast. 3, Rinso's grease chaser goes after grease and grime, but it's easy on hands. Helps prevent yellowing of clothes, too. So if you want a wash that's the envy of the neighborhood, just remember...
Rinso white. Rinso bright.
For a wash that's dazzling as it can be, give it the Rinso 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Get Rinso.
Come in, Sadie. I just got back from the country, and I want to tell you that I'm going to marry another gal.
Another gal? What has she got that I ain't got twice as much of?
No, Sadie, I done went for the sweet country type. We're going to live in the country.
The country, huh? I moved to the country right after I come to America.
Yeah, that's right. You wasn't born here. Tell me, Sadie, did you go around much when you first come over?
Oh, yes, I went around plenty.
Yeah. Is you a citizen yet?
Certainly. I was neutralized when I was 16.
How long you say that you lived out in the country?
Till I was 20 years old. Then I took a train. I come here to New York City.
And how long has you been in...
5 years. You want to make something out of it?
No, Sadie, but you say you lived in the country till you was 20?
That's right.
Then you took a train to New York, and you only been here 5 years?
That's right.
Well, how...
It was a slow train.
I'm glad she's gone. I done been on some slow trains, but... Oh, hi, Kingfish. Hi.
Hey, that city almost knocked me down. Well, Brother Andy, look here. I got some plans right here that I just got from the architect for your house. Beautiful home. Look at here. Let's look here.
Yeah. Now, what would this cost?
$285.
Say, that don't sound bad.
That's just for the plan.
Well, that only leaves me $15 for the house.
Well, that's playing a little close there. But I tell you, Andy, forget these. I have done copied some plans out of a magazine myself and done fitted them to the slope of the hill, and they ain't gonna cost you so much.
Let me see the plans you done drawn up there for me.
Yeah, now cock your ear and listen to this.
Yeah.
Is it cocked?
Yeah, you see it cocked up there, don't you?
All right. Now, here's the plans right here to the very last detail.
Yeah. Let me see now. Where's the front door?
Done clean forgot about that. Well, I tell you what, wait a minute. I'll slap it right there, right now, on this little room that's bulging out right there. See that room sitting there?
What room did you put the front door on?
The bathroom. You guess might want to watch it.
Well, what is this right here?
Oh, now, that's your living room. A nice-sized living room, too. 5 by 7.
I guess the sofa goes in the long way.
Yeah. Now, of course, Andy, on account of the slope of your lot or the contour of your property, as we say in the architect circles, you know, you is going to have a little dip in your living room.
I hear it.
Yeah, the front of your living room is going to be 8 feet lower than the back. But I got that figured out. If you and your wife will wear sneakers all the time, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Slanting living room, huh? I don't know if I like that.
Hey, give you a nice drainage there.
Well, why do I need drainage?
Yeah, suppose your roof leaks.
Oh.
I got you there, yeah. Now, the next thing, Andy.
Look, Kingfish, listen. Suppose I leave the building of the house to you. Right now, I'm going over to see Gabby, the lawyer, to see how I can raise the money for building the house. I got to do that if I'm going to get Louise to marry me.
All right, Andy, look here. In the meantime, I'll go out and I'll line up all the building material you'll need.
Yeah. Say, before I go to see Gabby, Kingfish, I know you was loaded with dough. Would you lend me some money?
No, and can't work it out. All my money is tied up in currency.
Hello there, Gabby. Glad to see you. Did you have a nice summer?
Lovely, lovely.
I see, though, that you was back at work.
Oh, yes, indeed. I just revised my scale of fees. You know, the cost of living is way up.
Yeah. Well, how does your fees run now?
Well, it all depends. Suppose the case where there's a lot of work. Research, have to take the case to court, try the case, then appeal it, take it to a higher court.
Yeah. How much is that?
85 cents.
Well, that don't sound bad.
And, of course, I'm still going to keep my legal practice on a higher plane. Yes, sir. My practice is always going to be dignified.
Yeah, well, Gabby, what I was here to see you about, you see, I made $500 this summer, and the thing is... Gabby, get off my lap.
Oh, sorry, Andy, I'm sorry.
You see, I done already spent part of the money on a lot. I got a little money left, but I needs to borrow some money to put up a house. You know any place where I can borrow the money, Gabby?
Well, there's a loan company here in town, the Liberal Loan Company. They're very lenient with the customer, very lenient. But they have to have some collateral before they let you have the money.
Yeah, well, my wife inherits a lot of money in a year from now.
That'll do it. They only have one slight requirement.
What's that?
The loan company want her to live in divorce.
Listen, the Kingfish is out getting materials now, and I got to get some action. Can I build a house by going to the government and getting a FHA loan?
FHA?
Yeah.
And if you got 10 credit references?
No.
If you got collateral?
No.
If you got a steady job?
No.
Well, in your case, FHA means only one thing, and only one thing.
What's that?
Forget houses altogether.
Lady, if your husband's dirty work clothes are a special wash day headache, listen to this.
My husband's a mechanic, so of course his things get pretty grimy and greasy. But do I worry? No, indeed. I just give them the Rinso 1, 2, 3. They're clean in a jiffy.
And no wonder. Rinso's triple action formula includes a special grease chaser that goes after grease and grime. Rinso's soapy-rich base makes suds that drive deep down. Get out stubborn dirt without hard scrubbing or rubbing. And Rinso Suds Booster means even in hard water, you get heaps of hard-working suds. And fast. Yes, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3 to turn out a wash that's...
Rinso white. Rinso white.
For a wash that's dazzling as it can be, give it the Rinso 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Come in, Kingfish. Did you buy all the material that I'm going to need for my new house?
Brother Andy, I've been to every building supply house in town.
Oh, boy, that's great. What'd you get?
So far, I ain't been able to get nothing. But one dealer done promised me a bathtub in June.
Really a shortage, huh?
Oh, not only bathtubs, Andy, but there's also a shortage of sinks, laundry tubs, wash basins, washboards, garbage cans, and all them luxury items.
Did you find out about a water heater?
Now, that was one of the first things on my list, but the only kind of water heater that they had was a cold water heater.
Cold water heater?
Yeah, the hot water heaters won't be until next summer.
It's really that bad, huh?
Oh, yeah. I went into the whole heatless situation there. You see, the water heater is what heats the water that runs into the bathtub.
Yeah, I knows that.
So I figured that as long as you couldn't get a bathtub, that you could cut out the middleman and just take a bath in the heater. That's what you do.
Yeah, well, I never thunk of that.
Yeah, the trouble is, the opening in the heater is only 8 inches wide. You wouldn't be able to crawl through it.
I wonder why they don't make them openings bigger.
Well, it's on account of the metal shortage. The way the salesman explained it to me is that the factory's only equipped to leave small openings so they can't do nothing about it till the post-war period is over and the government lets them get back to the normal inflation, you see.
Well, that sounds illogical, all right.
Yeah, there's a reason to everything if people just take the trouble to look for it.
Right, yeah. Is there anything else they is out of?
Oh, sure, they don't have no light fixtures, gas stoves, curtain rods, door hinges. They don't have nothing.
Well, how can they be out of so much stuff?
How? Because it's a big store. You ought to see their catalog of things they ain't got.
It's really a big place, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's enormous. If a little store was out of half the things that this store is out of, the little store would have closed up months ago.
Well, I don't understand it, because I see stuff in windows all the time.
Oh, them is only samples, Andy. They don't sell them.
Well, if they don't sell nothing, then how can they make any money?
That's what they keep asking the OPA.
Well, wasn't you able to get nothing at all that was on your list?
Well, I did have a little luck with a refrigerator, Andy. Mm-hmm. Remember that one that we was looking at in the window that had the nice big deep freeze department and the big ice department and all that stuff?
Oh, you mean you was able to get me that refrigerator?
No, but I might be able to get you the little light bulb that goes on when you open the door.
Yeah. You know, the important thing right now is to get the stuff to build the house with, like doors, roofing material, plaster, windows.
Speaking of windows, do you want wood or metal?
Glass is easier to see through.
Yeah, the glass is better. Yeah, wait a minute. I'll make a note of that, but you can't get no kind.
How about linoleum?
Well, I went in to see the man about linoleum. The salesman just gave me a dirty look, and I knowed what he meant.
What?
6 months. Well, if it ain't short of the barber.
Hello, Kent. Hiya. I'm glad to see you. Will you... Hiya, fellas.
How is everything at the barber shop, Shorty?
Oh, business is so wonderful. I've never been so busy. The customer just keep cut. I don't get a minute to... Slow.
Hey, Shorty, Andy is trying to build a house.
Yeah, and I'm having trouble getting stuff, too. I want a bathtub.
Well, I got some very good connections.
Well, I could get the connections. What I want is the tub.
Oh, I can get your tub, Andy, and the ceiling price, too.
Yeah, well, ceiling price on a tub is $20.
This one will cost you $80.
I thought you was getting this bathtub for me at ceiling.
Oh, the man ain't violating no law, Andy. The bathtub is only $20.
Well, what's the other $60 for?
The stopper.
You got to take something else with it, huh? Well, how about a sink?
Oh, the sink will cost you $18. That's right at ceiling.
Yeah, how much is the stopper in the sink?
Oh, you get that free.
Oh, boy. Then I really get the sink at $18.
No, $55. But before you can have the sink, you got to buy 70 bags of fertilizer.
But I ain't going to have no use for 70 bags of fertilizer.
You will if you buy the stove.
What you mean?
Well, with the stove, you got to buy 30 pounds of grass seed.
I was disgusted with this whole business. I'm just going to hire somebody to build a house.
Oh, you know something? I know just the man for you, too, Andy. This man, he just done some building for me. He hired all the labor, made his own blueprints, furnished his own material, and only took him a few months to finish.
Hey, well, at a time like this, when it's against the law to build, he'd be great, Andy. Hey, Shorty, where is he?
Oh, he's in the phone book. He's right over to the... I walk over and see him. He's right over in the next... jail.
Kingfish, listen, I was getting undiscouraged, you know it. I don't think I'm ever going to get this house built.
Yeah, well, now, don't get undiscouraged. That's the main thing I ask you to do. All I ask you to do is keep a stiff upper lip. Yeah. Now, what is you going to do about it?
Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back up there to Rocky Hills and see if I can find some other way of getting that dumb gal's money away without building a house.
That's a good idea. I'll go along with you.
Kingfish, I tell you, I can't understand it.
Yeah, well, now, wait a minute. Just take it easy now. Let me get this thing straight now. You went up to the clerk at the hotel there now.
Yeah, I've been talking to him.
Yeah, well, when you talked to him, what did the man say to you? He told you that your gal Louie is done left or something like that and didn't leave no forwarding address, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. She ain't nothing but a two-timing crook. She run out on me before I could get her money.
Well, that's where it goes. You see, I done told you women is fickle, Andy. They're fickle.
Well, but as dumb as she was, she didn't have sense enough to come in out the rain.
Yeah, well, now, what is you going to do now?
Well, I can get the best of her one way.
How does?
I happen to own the only lot in town here that she wants to live on. And when she gets her inheritance in a year, I'm going to make her pay plenty of dough for that ground.
Yeah, that'll fix her good.
Oh, boy, I got her tied up good. And right now, it's going to give me a great pleasure to tear up this picture of her that I've been carrying around in my wallet.
Yeah, wait a minute. Let me see the picture before you tear it up. I ain't never seen you, gal, you know.
Yeah, well, here it is.
Say, Andy, now I know why Louise told you she'd marry you and you got to buy that lot on top of the hill.
Why, Kingfish?
She's the gal that owned the lot. She told me to sell it to you.
Now, here are Amos and Andy again.
Well, folks, we're mighty happy to be back on the air.
And we hope you like the shows this year. We're going to try hard again to give you the best we can.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it, too, if you'd tune in every Tuesday. And every watch day, we hope you'll do what Mr. Cadell says. You know, give your clothes that Rinso 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Amos and Andy. Yes, ladies, remember, Rinso's triple action suds mean a wash that's tops in whiteness and brightness. White things, Rinso white. Washable colors, Rinso bright. And it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. So use Rinso.
Good night, folks.
See you next Tuesday.
Be sure to be with us next Tuesday evening at this same time when the makers of Rinso will again present the Amos and Andy Show. This is Carlton Cadell saying good night to all of you from all of us.
Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. While he's not the over-demonstrative type, most of the people who know biology teacher Philip Boynton find him friendly enough. Well, to our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School, he's also friendly, but not enough.
It isn't that Mr. Boynton doesn't have his moments. It's just that I'm never around when he's having them. Last Thursday morning, as usual, my landlady, Mrs. Davis, and I were discussing this phenomenon at the breakfast table.
I can't understand it, Connie. You and Mr. Boynton have been going together for quite a while now, haven't you?
Yes, indeed, Mrs. Davis. Let's see, we started dating the week he got his pet frog, McDougal. That was over 2 years ago.
You mean you two have been going steady for the past 2 years?
That's right, Mrs. Davis. I've been going steady with Mr. Boynton, and he's been going steady with McDougal.
Those scientists are all alike. So bashful. There must be something you can do to stir him up, Connie.
Oh, I've tried everything, Mrs. Davis. I've even backed him into the Mixmaster.
Did you? Did you really, Connie?
No, but it's not a bad idea.
Mr. Boynton is a lot like Mr. Mitchell, a scientist who used to take out my sister Angela. She's terribly absent-minded, you know.
Yes, I know.
Even more so than my brother Victor. Although heaven knows he's forgetful enough, too.
Yes, you mentioned it to me, Mrs. Davis, but what about Mr. Mitchell?
Mitchell?
The scientist.
What scientist?
The scientist who took out your sister Angela.
Imagine. Angela out with a scientist. And she never even mentioned it to me.
Maybe she forgot.
Forgot? That girl would forget her head if it wasn't tucked under her arm.
This is probably a mistake, but there's something I'd like to clear up. You mentioned, when we were both quite a bit younger, a certain Mr. Mitchell. You said he was a scientist and that he was a lot like Mr. Boynton.
He certainly was, Connie. Now, if you've finished with breakfast, I'll clear away the dishes.
That's what I like, a story with no loose ends. Present company accepted. Oh, I'll get it, Mrs. Davis. That's probably Walter Denton. He's going to give me a list of school this morning.
All right, Connie. See you after school, dear.
Good morning, Miss Brooks.
Why, it's Mr. Boynton. Come in.
Oh, I haven't time, Miss Brooks. I've got to stop at a laboratory supply house before I get to school. I just wanted to return this notebook. I found it in my lab yesterday.
Your lab?
Oh, yes. You left it there when you came to pick up the notebook you'd left the day before.
This is getting pretty obvious. Maybe I'd better start forgetting my gloves.
I thought you might need it for your first class, or I wouldn't have disturbed you so early.
Oh, you're not disturbing me, Mr. Boynton. At least not any more than usual. Are you sure you wouldn't like to come in for a minute?
Oh, no, thank you, Miss Brooks. I just heard that the supply house I deal with is a new batch of white mice. They just got in from Bolivia.
Well, shouldn't you give them a chance to unpack? Maybe I could go along with you. I'll just leave word for Walter Denton that I'm riding to school with you.
Oh, but I'm not driving, Miss Brooks. It's such a beautiful day, I decided to walk.
That's what I say. I'll leave word for Walter that I'm walking to school with you.
You couldn't walk with me, Miss Brooks. I'm much too fast for you.
Now, there's a nifty bit of overstatement.
Besides, you wouldn't like the atmosphere in the supply house, all those mice and things. What's that? Oh, it's your cat. Hello, Minerva.
She probably wants the address of that supply house.
Come here, kitty. Ah, there's a nice girl. Oh, she sure loves it when I hold her and tickle the back of her neck.
Move over, Minerva. Here, I'll take her. Now go on inside, Minerva. I'll give you some milk in a minute. Run along now. Mr. Boynton's much too old for you.
You know, seeing Minerva like this reminds me of a joke one of my students told me.
A joke?
Yes. After class the other day, little Sid Silvers came over to me and said, Mr. Boynton, I know a lady who kisses cats. And I said, she kisses cats? What's her name? And he said, Mrs. Cats. What's the matter, Miss Brooks? Didn't you get it?
Oh, I got it, Mr. Boynton. It's just that I've had all I want of it.
But I'll be running along now. See you at school, Miss Brooks. You invited me to lunch today, remember?
That's right. It's my turn. Last time we went Dutch.
Who's there?
It's me, Mrs. Davis. I haven't gone yet.
Oh, then that wasn't Walter Denton at the door?
No, it was Mr. Boynton. He just stopped by to give me this notebook and to tell me about a lady who kisses cats.
Well, if there are any other ladies kissing cats, I think Mrs. Cat should know about it.
Please, Mrs. Davis, it's just a joke.
It's no joke to Mrs. Cat. After all the years they've been married.
Oh, that must be Walter now. Coming. Well, good morning, Walter.
It's more than a good morning, Miss Brooks. It's a heavenly morning, an exquisite morning, a delicious morning.
Don't wrap it up. I'll eat it here.
Oh, I feel as if I've been dancing on a sunbeam, tiptoeing on a rainbow, and wading through a cloud.
Well, wipe your feet and come in a minute.
Oh, hello, Walter. Well, if it isn't Mrs. Davis, lovely Mrs. Davis, scintillating Mrs. Davis, radiant Mrs. Davis. What's the matter with him?
I don't know. He just got here. What are you so happy about this morning, Walter?
It's l'amour, Miss Brooks. Wonderful, beautiful l'amour.
Did you get a letter from her? What is all this?
It's love, Miss Brooks. I can't sleep. I can't eat. Oh, that's too bad, Walter. I was just going to ask you if you'd like a little breakfast. Oh, what have you got? Well, I could make you some nice waffles.
I'm afraid there's no time for that, Mrs. Davis. We've got to get to school.
Oh, it's of no consequence. Food is secondary at a time like this. I'll just have a few eggs and some milk. You see, my breakfast was almost an hour ago.
Poor kid, you must be starved. Say, that reminds me, I've got to give Minerva some milk, too. Let's all go into the dinette. Come along, Minerva.
Is there anything I can do to help you in the kitchen, Mrs. Davis? No, you just sit right down here and talk to Miss Brooks, and I'll have your eggs ready in a jiffy. Ah, you're a peach, Mrs. Davis. Well, thank you, Walter. She is, Miss Brooks. She's a peach. A wonderful...
I know, a wonderful, beautiful, fuzzy old peach. Now, I wish you'd tell me whence comes this gaiety of spirit.
From whence? Oh, from Harriet Conklin, that's whence.
Well, she's a pretty nice little wench.
She's more than nice, Miss Brooks. She's sensational. And boy, what a fight we had yesterday.
A fight?
Yeah, we almost came to blows. It'll be a long time before we have another fight like that one, boy.
Well, what are you so happy about? I thought you were fond of Harriet.
I'm crazy about her.
I see. You're crazy about her, so you almost came to blows.
Oh, don't you get it? The more bitter the battle, the sweeter it is making up.
You mean you actually pick fights just so you can patch it up later?
Harriet started this one. It was sheer inspiration. Boy, you should have heard the name she called me.
Names? Why, I don't believe Harriet Conklin would call anyone names, Walter.
Oh, it wasn't really Harriet. She was quoting her father. He hates me, you know.
Yes, I know.
Besides, a good fight once in a while tends to make couples less sure of each other. A person can't take another person for granted if he or she is belting his or her brains out.
This boy is another Kirk Douglas. Will you excuse me for a minute, Walter? I'd like to get Minerva her milk.
Oh, certainly, Miss Brooks.
Mrs. Davis.
Yes, Connie, I'm just finishing the eggs.
Walter's just given me a wonderful idea, Mrs. Davis. The trouble with Mr. Boynton and myself is that we take each other for granted.
You take each other for granted?
With one exception. I don't take him for granted. What I mean is, if I could get him into a good fight, he wouldn't be so sure of me. And then, too, think of what fun it would be making up.
I think you've got something there, Connie. When are you going to pick this fight with Mr. Boynton?
At lunchtime today. We have a date to meet in the cafeteria.
Good for you, Connie. It just goes to show you there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Not you, Minerva, not you.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, will continue in just a moment. But first, here is Vern Smith. For bare skin beauty, it's bath-size Palmolive with its famous beauty lather. Yes, bath-size Palmolive for loveliness all over.
There's something thrillingly new in this wonderful beauty lather of bath-size Palmolive soap. New fragrance, new charm, new allure. See if Palmolive in your daily tub or shower doesn't leave your shoulders, arms, and back. Yes, all of you softer and smoother, completely lovelier all over. You'll thrill to the tender whisper of perfume it leaves on your skin. A whisper that says, come hither to romance.
And this new bath-size Palmolive is so big, so thrifty, economical to use because it lasts so long and gives so much soft, lovely lather so fast.
That soft, lovely lather with its alluring new fragrance is Palmolive soaps alone. Palmolive's famous beauty lather. Yes, a new fragrance, new charm, new allure that can make every woman a vision of delight in the new revealing fashions that show so much more of you.
So remember, for bare skin beauty, it's bath-size Palmolive with its famous beauty lather. Yes, bath-size Palmolive for loveliness all over.
Get bath-size Palmolive soap tomorrow. Menfolk love it, too.
As soon as the bell rang for lunch, I hastened toward the cafeteria to start the battle of the century with my unwitting adversary, Mr. Boynton. I must have been exceeding the speed limit for Madison's halls, for just as I came abreast of the principal's office, Mr. Conklin flagged me.
Well, if it isn't Mel Patton. Would you like us to put up some hurdles for you, my dear?
I'm sorry, Mr. Conklin. I was just hurrying to get to lunch.
Obviously. But I'll have to ask you to make a small detour. Would you mind loping into my office for a moment?
Of course, Mr. Conklin.
Now, sit down, Miss Brooks. I've called you in to find out what you've done about Walter Denton and my daughter Harriet.
What I've done, Mr. Conklin?
Yes. A few weeks ago, I requested that you move him to the furthest possible spot from Harriet's desk.
Oh, I have, Mr. Conklin. They couldn't be any further apart unless one of them transferred to another school.
Well, I don't know what Harriet sees in that lame-brained dunce.
Oh, he isn't so bad, Mr. Conklin. It's just puppy love with Walter.
If I could be sure of that, I'd buy him a lifetime supply of Strongheart and build him a kennel with my own hands. You should have heard them last night, Miss Brooks. They were on our front porch till almost 11 o'clock. Seems they had an argument in the afternoon, and they spent over 3 hours cooing and gurgling at each other like a brace of punch-drunk doves.
Oh, they were just making up after a little spat.
Well, we've got to do something to make that spat a permanent one.
That's a pretty tough assignment, Mr. Conklin. Don't you realize that nothing is as sweet as the reconciliation after a lover's quarrel? Why, many couples pick fights just for the fun of making up.
Yes. Harriet's mother once started a quarrel with me just to stir up some emotional activity. Now that I think of it, when we did make up, it was rather wonderful. Perhaps you'd better run along now, Miss Brooks. I have a phone call to make.
Oh, Miss Brooks, here I am.
Oh, hello, Mr. Boynton.
I've been holding this table for us. It's right near the food counter.
Well, if you're going to be sarcastic about my being a few seconds late, Mr. Boynton, perhaps I'd better eat by myself.
But I wasn't being sarcastic, Miss Brooks. I just said...
There you go. You just said. You're not interested in anything I might have to say.
Yes, I am, Miss Brooks. What have you got to say?
What made you decide to sit so close to the steam table?
Oh, you always like to be near the food, Miss Brooks.
Oh, that's right. Call me a glutton. Next thing you'll be saying is that I stuffed myself so much I'm getting fat as a horse.
Well, I wouldn't say anything like that, Miss Brooks. You're just getting a little plump. What's the matter with you today, anyway?
Oh, that's right. Blame it all on me. I come in prepared to have a perfectly friendly lunch, and you immediately start picking on me.
I don't know how you can say a thing like that, Miss Brooks.
You mean you don't know how a person in her right mind can say a thing like that. That's what you were thinking. Don't deny it.
Oh, I get it. This is a rib. Say, you sure had me going for a minute there.
I may have to bite him. This is no rib, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, excuse me, folks, but I have a rather important message for Miss Brooks.
What is it, Walter?
Well, Mr. Conklin wants to see you in his office right away.
Oh, it's a shame you have to go now, Miss Brooks. You haven't had anything to eat, and the lunch period's half over. Here, you better have a few of these jelly beans.
Jelly beans?
Oh, yes, I carry them with me all the time. They're almost pure sugar, you know, and the dextrose contained in them is one of the best sources of quick energy known to science. Here, take a couple. Sweets to the sweet, they say.
That is the last insult I'll take from you, Mr. Boynton. You can have my chair, Walter.
But, Miss Brooks...
I don't know what this is all about, but I'm afraid I've got to interrupt, Mr. Boynton. As manager of the track team, I've called a special practice for after school. I thought you ought to know.
Oh, you did? Well, for your information, Denton, as coach of the track team, I'm the only one entitled to call a practice.
Gee, you don't have to get so excited about it.
Don't tell me how excited to get either. I'm not strict enough with you kids. That's the trouble.
Well, sure you are, Mr. Boynton.
I am not.
Oh, great. With him, he fights. You sent for me, Mr. Conklin?
Yes, Miss Brooks, I did. I wanted to report to you the result of my adopting your suggestion.
My suggestion?
Yes. Yes, acting upon your conversational tip of a few moments ago, I called my wife, Martha, and started an argument with her.
Really, Mr. Conklin? Do you think it worked?
I think so, yes.
Good.
Miss Brooks?
Yes?
Martha has left me.
Left you? How do you know?
I was afraid I'd gone at it a little strongly in my first call, so after a few minutes I rang my home again.
And?
The housekeeper told me that Martha had left the house with a valise.
A valise?
She did the same thing the last time we quarreled. Took off like a wounded buffalo for her mother's house in Toledo. Well, if you'll stay in my office, Miss Brooks, I'll try to head her off at the railroad station.
Oh, but my classes, Mr.
Put
Conklin.
Harriet in charge, Miss Brooks. You'll have to wait until I return.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry it worked out like this, Mr. Conklin, but I must say you're showing remarkable self-control.
No time for recriminations now, Miss Brooks. However, upon my return, I'll play you!
Principal's office, Miss Brooks speaking.
Oh, hello, Miss Brooks. This is Mrs. Conklin.
Mrs. Conklin, where are you?
Why, I'm in the luggage shop, Miss Brooks. I thought Osgood and I might open our cottage at Crystal Lake a little early this year, so I'm having one of my valises repaired. Would you be good enough to call Mr. Conklin to the phone?
I'm afraid my voice isn't loud enough, Mrs. Conklin. He's at the railroad station.
The railroad station? What's he doing there?
Well, he thought you were peeved at him for having been nasty to you on the phone. So when your housekeeper told him you'd left with a valise, he presumed something drastic had happened, like the time you were wounded in Buffalo.
What?
Well, he thinks you're on your way to your mother's house in Toledo.
So that's what he thinks. Well, it serves him right. You have no idea how he went out of his way to pick an argument with me, Miss Brooks.
Oh, yes, I have, Mrs. Conklin.
Well, instead of rushing over to the station and explaining the misunderstanding, I've a good mind to let him cool his heels for a while.
Oh, but Mrs. Conklin, I feel partly responsible for what's happened. I'm sorry if I started...
Well, I'm not a bit sorry. A little emotional activity is good for any family. After all, even bees have to stop making honey sometime.
I know, but I've started the activity in the wrong hive.
Well, I'm going back home now, Miss Brooks. Why don't you drop over after school? We'll have a little bull session.
Oh, he won't be back by then. I mean, I'd love to drop over, Mrs. Conklin. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Miss Brooks, I'm surprised at you.
Mr. Boynton, I didn't hear the door open.
The door was open. I happened to be passing by and, well, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation with Mrs. Conklin.
You heard it?
Every word.
Oh, well, I'll have a jelly bean now, Mr. Boynton.
Frankly, I never dreamed you'd be a party to such a nefarious plot, Miss Brooks. For the first time in my life, I'm really angry at you.
You are?
Yes, I certainly am.
Well... Okay, so you're mad at me. You want to make something out of it, frog boy?
Frog boy?
Why don't you leap down to the pond and dunk your head under a lily pad?
So you've been spying on me after school.
Your father's microscope.
Miss Brooks, you've succeeded in stirring up our first quarrel. Why, when I think of our principal wandering around the railroad station, searching vainly for a wife who isn't there, I'm appalled. Why, poor Mr. Conklin must be beside himself.
Oh, not that, Mr. Boynton. Even Mr. Conklin couldn't stand another Mr. Conklin.
worried, Miss Brooks. It's almost 9 p.m. and still no word from Osgood. Maybe something's happened to him. Maybe I'll never see him again.
Oh, please, Mrs. Conklin, take it easy.
Well, how can I take it easy? How would you feel if you thought you were never going to see Osgood again?
I rarely indulge in wishful thinking. Now, when Mr. Conklin gets tired of looking for you, he'll come home. Meanwhile, you must try to be cheerful.
Oh, if only Daddy would phone. If only we had some word, some definite... Oh, the doorbell. Maybe it's Osgood. I'll get it. Oh, no, Mother. If it is Daddy, you wouldn't want him to see you with your eyes all red from crying. I'll get it.
No, dear.
Your eyes are red, too. But, Mother, your eyes are redder than mine. No, dear. Your eyes are much redder than mine.
You two red eyes will excuse me. I'll open the door. Well.
Oh, it's you, Miss Brooks.
Come in, Mr. Boynton. Mrs. Conklin and Harriet are pretty worried.
Please, Mr. Boynton, don't keep us in suspense. Is there any news? Quickly, Mr. Boynton, tell us.
Oh, I'm afraid not. I checked the railroad station and the bus terminal, but I saw no sign of Mr. Conklin.
Poor Daddy.
Hold it, Harriet. Wait for your mother.
Mr. Boynton, did you also check the airport?
Yes, I did. He wasn't there either.
Oh, poor Osgood.
Now both together. Well, don't just stand there, Mr. Boynton. Pull up a life raft and sit down. Oh, don't be discouraged, Mrs. Conklin. Maybe Walter Denton will come back with some more tangible news.
Oh, I hope he comes soon. This waiting is maddening. Oh, the doorbell. Maybe that's Osgood. I'll get it. Oh, no, Mother, I'll get it. If it is Daddy, you wouldn't want him to see you.
I've got it.
Hiya, Miss Brooks.
Come in, Walter. It's Walter Denton.
Hello, Walter.
Hello, Mrs. Conklin. Hello, Harriet. Hello, Mr. Boynton.
You can call the roll later, Walter. Now, what's the news?
Yes, what did you find out, Walter?
Well, I checked the receiving hospital, the emergency hospitals, and also the morgue.
And?
No luck.
Poor Osgood. Oh, the phone. Maybe that's Osgood. I'll get it. Oh, no, Mother, I'll get it. If it is Daddy, you wouldn't want him...
Hello, Mr. Conklin's residence. Miss Brooks speaking.
How do you do, Miss Brooks?
Mr. Conklin.
Mr. Conklin.
It's Daddy. Osgood.
Must be a five-party line.
Mr. Conklin, where are you?
Where do you think I am? I'm in Toledo.
Where?
At the home of Martha's mother, but Martha's not here.
Of course she isn't. She's right here.
What? Well, put her on at once.
Yes, sir. Just a minute. He wants to talk to you, Mrs. Conklin. He's at your mother's house in Toledo.
In Toledo?
Ohio.
Toledo, Ohio?
Zone 38. Here's the phone.
Mrs. Brooks, I don't dare tell him that I let him go on that wild goose chase just to teach him a lesson. You know his blood pressure.
I ought to. I helped give it to him. Here's the phone, Mrs. Conklin. Talk to him.
Oh, thank you. Hello, Osgood.
Martha, you're home. I don't quite understand.
Well, dear, when you picked a quarrel with me today, I really planned to go home to Mother. But I realized I just couldn't bear the thought of leaving you.
You really mean that, Martha? Oh, what a lucky man I am. I'll take the first plane back, my dear. It'll be such fun making up. And Martha?
Yes, Osgood?
You can start puckering up now, sugar.
Why, Osgood.
Goodbye, sweetie.
Goodbye, sugar cookie.
Isn't that sweet? Come on out to the porch, Harriet. We still got some making up of our own to do.
All right, Walter. Now I'm going up to my room and have a good, happy cry.
You've earned it, Mrs. Conklin. The day you were married.
Well, Miss Brooks, we seem to have this living room all to ourselves.
Shall we go to our corners and come out reconciling?
Miss Brooks, I realize you really did nothing to gain my anger today, and, well, in a situation like this, actions speak louder than words.
What are you driving at, Mr. Boynton?
Miss Brooks, pucker up.
Yes, Mr. Boynton.
And close your eyes.
Not me. I want to watch.
please, close your eyes.
All right, Mr. Boynton.
There. Well, how did you like it, Miss Brooks?
Wonderful, Mr. Boynton. The purple ones are my favorite jelly beans.
Miss Brooks returns in just a moment, but first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Only Luster Cream brings you K. Dumit's magic formula blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Gives loveliness lather even in hardest water. Glamorizes your hair as you wash it. Luster Cream, not a soap, not a liquid, but a dainty cream shampoo. Leaves hair fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen, soft, manageable. Gives new beauty to all hairdos or permanents. 4-ounce jar, $1. Smaller sizes, either tubes or jars. Tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo and be a
dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, after Mr. Boynton had fed me all the jelly beans I could swallow, he walked me home through the park.
Miss Brooks, there's something I've wanted to say to you all evening.
There he is?
Well, I didn't want to embarrass you in front of the others, but, well...
Yes, Mr. Boynton?
The seams of your stockings are crooked.
Thanks a million, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, look, over by that tree, Miss Brooks. It's a Pendodactylus. Same type of frog as McDougal.
Excuse me, Mr. Boynton. Now, you listen to me, you green-skinned, pop-eyed monster. You have a lot of nerve croaking at people at this time of night. This park isn't big enough for both of us, see?
Miss Brooks, what are you doing?
I'm picking a fight with this frog. It's got to be more fun making up with him.
Next week, tune into another Our Miss Brooks show brought to you by Palmolive Soap, Your Beauty Hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair. Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, written and directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch.
Men, here is actual, factual proof of more comfortable, actually smoother shaves by using Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream. 1,251 men tried the Palmolive Lather way to shave, described on the tube. And no matter how they shaved before, 3 out of 4 got more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Try Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream. See if you don't get more comfortable, actually smoother shaves the Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream way.
For mystery liberally sprinkled with laughs, listen to Mr. and Mrs. North, the exciting fun-packed adventures of an amateur detective and his beautiful wife. Tune in Tuesday evening over most of these same stations. And be with us again next week at the same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. Stay tuned now for Life with Luigi, which follows over most of these stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Of Avalon cigarettes, please.
Yes, sir. Just a moment, sir. Don't forget your change. You'd never guess, but Avalon's cost you less.
So why not always travel on with Avalon?
Good evening, friends. Good evening. This is Del King saying welcome to Avalon Time with Kurt Massey, Edna Stillwell, Jeanette, the Avalon Chorus, Bob Strong and his orchestra, and radio's red-headed ragamuffin, Richard Red Skelton. and gentlemen, do you know why Avalon cigarettes are sensationally gaining in popularity everywhere? Do you know why millions of hard-to-please but thrifty smokers from coast to coast are switching to Avalon? Well, I'll tell you why. They give you both outstanding quality and exceptional money-saving economy. Yes, Avalon's cost 3 to 5 cents less per pack than other popular price brands. And don't think lightly of that saving either. 3 to 5 cents saved on every pack of cigarettes you smoke turns into real money in mighty short order. Now about Avalon's quality. Truly, you'd never guess they cost you less. They're union-made from extra choice Turkish and domestic tobaccos, perfectly blended to give you a smoke that positively cannot be surpassed. Remember this, friends. You can pay more, but you can't get finer quality cigarettes than Avalon. Certainly, you'll want to give them a trial. Why not get a pack tonight? And now for the first inning of our screwball game, we bring you that press box fantasy headline hokum, featuring that rangy, rugged, rakish, racing, roving, ranting, raving reporter, Red Skelton.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and now for the news. Say, hasn't the news in the paper been terrible lately? No kidding. The things that happens to Buck Rogers are awful. Well, now for the news. News from coast to coast. Heat wave sweeps the country. Boy, it really has been hot lately. No kidding. Day before yesterday, it was so hot. I saw a dog chasing a cat, and it was so hot they were both walking. I found a way to keep cool at night, though, but it was awful crowded. Workshops and a pound of butter. Big explosion in California market. The fruit's too big. You think I'm kidding? Oh, they grow marvelous things out there. And it's remarkable with rain. The sun shines all the time. Yeah. In fact, there's so much sunshine in California, they have to build big dams to hold it back. I'm going out there someday and buy me a little ranch. You know, all the actors have ranches out there. They raise their fruits and vegetables. Sally Rand has a ranch where she raises eyebrows. Crabapple, Nebraska. Undertaker's whole convention here. What a sight. They got off the train and the band hit up their theme song. Well, all right. Dig, dig, dig. Well, all right. They made a few comments on how dead business was. And they were last seen drinking Planter's Punch. Fashion news for the women. This winter, women are going to wear more furs. I bought my girl a fur coat. I don't know what kind of fur it is. But she had to build a fence in the closet to hang it up. It's a little embarrassing when I'm with her. Everybody comes up and asks me, what kind of an animal did that fur come from? Then they look right at me. Atlantic City, New Jersey. Tonight, 46 girls from every state in the Union will seek the title of Miss America. You notice I said 46 states. Maine and Vermont have their own Miss America. My girl was in the beauty contest in Atlantic City last year. Oh, she's a beautiful thing. A little pigeon-toed, though. In fact, she's so pigeon-toed, her feet carry messages. It's hard to believe items. Police find a girl walking along Highway 41. She said she'd walk 14 miles. For goodness sake. Well, that just about takes care of the news for tonight. So, Jeanette will sing Running Through My Mind. Sing it pretty, Jeanette, but pretty.
Running through my mind, how can I be blue, dear? I always have you, dear. Running through my mind, running through my dreams, with moonlight behind you, I wake up and find you. Running through my dreams, two lips I love to kiss, two eyes so blue, I always in my mind, I'm haunted by you. desire running through my mind.
And now we come to our slice of life, ladies and gentlemen, a short playlet on things that happen in everyday life, things that you do and that I do, in fact, all of us do.
Well, what's this one about tonight, Red?
Well, it's about a young married couple, and the husband likes to sleep late. And as a result, the wife develops into a very fine nagger. You set the scene, Bill.
Okay, Red. The place somewhere in your hometown. The time, 7:05 in the morning, just when sleeping is good. Now, as the scene opens, we find the young wife, played by Edna Stillwell, trying to get Red Skelton, the young husband, to wake up and go to work. Skelton is dead to the world. P.S. That last line was written by the sponsor. Listen.
Say, aren't you up yet? What do I have to do to get you out of here? I've given you 3 hot foots already.
Oh, so that's what happened to my toes.
Now, come on and get up. It's after 7. Hurry, or you'll miss your bus.
Oh, I won't miss my bus. Gee, I hope Dagwood saves me a seat. I can't figure you out. Boy, you make me go to bed when I'm not tired, and you make me get up when I'm sleepy. Someday I'm going to make $1 million and I'll buy 1,000 beds and sleep in every one of them.
Who do you think you are, George Washington? You probably inherit your laziness from your father.
No, I don't think so. He's still got his.
Hurry now while I finish breakfast. Come on, get a move on you.
All right, don't yell at me. Oh, gee. I think I'll do my setting up exercises. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's that. Now I guess I'll get out of bed. Hey, what time is it?
It's about 7:15.
Oh, well, I got plenty to... Why, 7:15? Why'd you wake me up sooner? Where's my clothes?
Right where you left them. Open your eyes.
Huh?
Open your eyes.
You mean single-handed? I'll take a shower and I'll be right out for breakfast.
All right. But don't go back to bed.
I won't.
And listen, you're going to have to get more sleep.
All
Just
right.
look at the bags under your eyes.
Those aren't bags. I'm wearing my cheeks up this season. Hey, where's the soap?
We haven't any soap.
Why?
I haven't entered any contest lately.
Yeah. Well, I'll take a shower without it anyhow. Gee, I love my cold showers in the morning. I'll just turn it on full. There, I feel like a new man. Hey, where's the towel?
They didn't come back from the laundry.
Yeah?
Use the bath mat.
All right. Oh, gee, this bath mat's awful rough. What do you got welcome printed on it for? Hey, gee, I guess I'll shave now. Hey, where's my razor?
I'm using it to open a can of fruit salad.
Okay. You wouldn't dare. Using my razor to open a can, a fine thing. Would you get sore if I shaved with your can opener?
No, but you would.
Yeah.
But come on, you haven't time to shave. Your bus leaves in 10 minutes.
Hey, have I got any clean socks?
Yes, they're on their way over from the laundry.
What are they doing, hitchhiking? What am I going to wear?
Well, why don't you take the scissors and cut off a pair of my old stockings?
No, I'll wear the same ones I took off. Gee, I hope I can find which end to put my feet through. I guess it don't make much difference. Now for my shoes. Oh, nuts.
Now what's the matter?
I broke my shoelace. I guess I'll have to wear my button shoes after all. Hey, where's my blue serge suit?
I took it back for a retread.
Yeah. Oh, where are my green ones? See, everything happens when you're in a hurry. Now, the button's off my vest. Will you sew one on?
Sew it on yourself.
I ain't no tailor.
Well, you ain't no Gable either.
Yeah. Boy, that's the fastest I've dressed since the man from the finance company was here. Hey, where's breakfast? Haven't you got it scraped yet?
What's the matter? You look so tired.
Yeah, I am a little tired. I counted sheep all night.
Counting sheep, eh?
Yeah.
How many times have I told you not to bring your pets to bed with you? Come on, eat your breakfast. Do you want sugar in your coffee?
No, I'll just... Where did you get that coffee? I like weak coffee, but that stuff's helpless.
Well, I can't understand it. It's drip coffee.
Yeah, well, the next time put in 2 drips instead of 1.
Don't eat so fast. You're going to get indigestion.
Oh, don't heckle me. Pass the cereal. By the way, how much of this stuff have I got to eat before I'm an all-American boy?
Oh, look, there's your bus. Hurry.
Okay, goodbye. I'll be home early now.
Hurry, it's not stopping.
Hey, wait for me.
Hurry.
Hey, wait a minute. Where?
Oh, dear, he missed it.
Well, of all the dumb tricks, boy, this takes the cake. I'm going back to bed.
What's the matter with you? You can't do a thing like that. You'll lose your job.
No, I won't. I just happen to remember. Today's Sunday.
The tune, Go Fly a Kite. The band, our own Bob Strong. Turn her loose, Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what the big Indian chief says about Avalon cigarettes? Well, he says...
Oh, me big chief Mickey ha-ha. Paleface think Indian smoke peace pipe. Smoke peace pipe? Smoke Avalon cigarette. Okay.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the big chief is smart to switch to Avalon cigarettes. And believe me, it's a smart move on any smoker's part, because Avalons give you very definite advantages. They're quality cigarettes that sell for 3 to 5 cents less per pack than other popular price brands. And bear this in mind, friends. It's not just the saving on one pack, but the repeated saving on every pack of cigarettes you smoke that turns into many, many dollars, extra dollars, too. But without knowing, you'd never guess Avalons cost you less. They're quality through and through, union-made from the very finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos that money can buy. What more could you ask? Highest quality, outstanding money-saving economy. Avalon certainly deserve a trial. Why not get a pack tonight? Tonight, Kurt Massey and the Avalon Chorus have chosen a tune which many of you have requested they sing. Red Sails in the Sunset.
Red sails in the sunset, way out on the sea. Oh, carry my loved one home safely to me. 'Twas down where fisher folk gather I wander far from the throng. I heard a fisher girl singing, and this refrain was her song. Red sails in the sunset, way out on the sea. Home safely to me. He sailed at the dawning. All day I've been blue. Red sails in the sunset. I'm trusting in you. With wings you must borrow. Make straight for the shore. We marry tomorrow, and he goes sailing no more. Red sails in the sunset, way out on the sea.
And now we come to the last stand of our Mexican standoff, the send-out Skelton service. Now, if you're having trouble with your job, just send for Skelton, and soon your troubles will be all over the map. We now take you to his office, where Edna Stillwell takes the phone calls, and Skelton's clients just take it.
Hello, this is the send-out Skelton service. If you're in the soup, we'll send the droop. Real estate? Oh, yes, Mr. Skelton knows lots about lots. Okay, when he comes in, he'll be out. Now, where is that guy, anyway?
White guy. For 2 cents, I'd pop you right in the nose. No, I ain't got change for a nickel. Crawl back up the rain spout, you drip.
Come in here and stop arguing with that midget.
Tell him to stop picking on me.
Well, get busy. You're a real estate man.
Him?
Mr. Leaf just called, and he wants you to take a lady out to see a house.
Yeah?
And hurry. He's going to his grandmother's funeral, and it's almost time for the game to start.
Yeah. Okay, where do I go?
The house is at 246 Rosemary Lane.
Okay, 246 Rosemary Lane. 246... Well, let's see. What was that number? I lost it now. Oh, yeah. 468. This must be the place right here.
This dump?
Sure, it's a new house. It'll look better after they chop those weeds down.
I think it would look better if you chopped down the house and left the weeds.
Oh, but you'll love it here. It's a nice, refined neighborhood.
Yes. I think I smell a glue refinery. And look at that broken fence.
Yeah, you know what I heard? The guy that owns the place is so stingy, he tried to get a union to picket his fence. But take a look at this door knocker. Genuine brass knuckles on it. Here, I got a key. We'll open it up and go in. Yeah, it's funny. This key don't fit. Oh, well, they probably give me the wrong key. Maybe I can open this window over here. Oh, it sort of broke a little, didn't it? Well, now it's open. I'll just climb in. Say, that's more serious than I thought. The glass broke on both sides. Oh, it's a furnished house. Hey, this shouldn't be hard to rent. Well, I'll open the door and let her in. Okay, lady, step right into your new future home. Now, here's the lease. Do you prefer to sign on the line with a small or large dot?
I want to see it first. And what's the rent?
$75 a month.
This living room is too small.
$70 a month.
And there's no fireplace.
$65 a month.
And I don't want a furnished house.
Keep on. 60 now.
Oh, the dining room looks nice.
Back up to 65.
However, I want a door through that side instead of the end, and I'd like cross ventilation.
Oh, we can fix that. I'll call up a carpenter. Hello, operator. Get me Divine 022. Yeah, 022 Divine. Hello, send out a carpenter to 468 Rosemary Lane. Yeah, it's the joint just around the curve on Ann Sheridan Road. Okay.
And I don't like these pictures and the lampshades. Oh, and the drapes and the slip covers are atrocious.
They are? I thought they were cretonne. I will just rip them off and get some new ones. Hello, operator. Give me an interior decorator. No, not a liquor store. An interior decorator. You know, those people that tear your house apart and then charge you $200 for putting it back the same way it was. You know, one of those artistic termites. Yeah. Hello, interior decorator? Can you send a decorator over to 468 Rosemary Lane? Okay. Oh, boy, now. Oh, things are beginning to hum. That must be the carpenter. Come in. Well, are you the carpenter?
Well, I ain't the body beautiful builder.
Hercules, the man with a hammer and nails.
Oh, goodness, yes, Mr. Skelton. And if you want to hang any pictures, I have some very special hangnails.
Well, what I want you to do, Herky, is to cut some doors and windows in these walls.
Oh, heavens, that ought to be easy. Why, look, this wall is so thin you can see right through it.
You're looking out a window.
Oh.
Now, look, we want a window over here so we can have some cross ventilation.
Well, don't worry. I'll make the ventilation so cross it'll be downright cranky. Now, you two just scoot on out of here and just let me at it. Oh, I'm just dying to hack this place to smithereens.
Okay, all I'm asking is woodman, spare that whole tree. Come on, lady, I want to show you the kitchen. Oh, it's beautiful out here. Now, here we are.
Oh, well, what a queer kitchen.
Yeah?
Well, look at that sink. It's right down on the floor.
Well, that's so you can lay down and wash the dishes.
But I don't like it. It's too hard to do dishes with a sink so low.
Yeah?
Why, it would break my poor husband's back.
The rent is now $50 a month. Now, I'd like to show you the laundry chute. You'll like this. See, you just open this little door here, and it shoots. That gives you those little holes in your laundry. Saves you the trouble of sending them out, you know. Somebody outside that door. It must be the decorator. Come in.
Hello, sweet Lynette.
Well, Gypsy Rose Levy.
Please. In the business of Ontario decorating, I'm known as Mrs. Franklin D. Rosenblum.
Well, I'm glad to see you.
The feeling is pari-mutual. My, such a joint, such a dumpling.
Say, do you think you could fix this place up, Gypsy?
Let me see. Something smart shouldn't be too hard. Already I'm seeing the handwriting on the wallpaper. In my mind, I'm already forming a picture by appointment.
Say, can you fix something up original?
For you, maybe something aboriginal. On the floor should be a genuine flying carpet.
What do you mean a flying carpet?
Because when you see the price, you'll hit the ceiling. Also, everything should be done over in silk.
In silk? Okay. Can you do it this afternoon?
What am I looking like, a silk boy? But I'm trying. First, I'm tearing down the curtain. And the slip cover. I'm a tear-downer, a building hopper. I'm a herring tear-downer.
Oh, lady, come on, lady. I want to show you a wonderful shower bath they have here. Needle showers with tattoo needles.
Tattoo needles?
Yeah, every time you take a shower, it tattoos the date on your back. Well, here's the shower. Now, in this shower bath, you'll find is occupied. I wonder how that happened.
What's going on here? Who are you? What are you doing in my house?
Hey, now, wait a minute. One question at a time, Professor Wiz. I'm renting this house for you.
I don't want it rented. I just built it. It's my home.
Oh, wait a minute. You called up and said you wanted the place rent. I got the address right here somewhere in my pocket. There it is, right here. Let's see. 246 Rosemary.
This is 468.
Yep. Uh-oh, I'm in the wrong place. Come on, lady. Come on, Herky Gypsy. Let's get going. We're in the wrong house.
Look what you've done to my house. It's wrecked. I've invited my friends out here to see it. They know I built it. What'll they say?
They'll take one look at it and say, this is the house that Jerk built. Well, Dell, it looks like the sand in the hourglass is all set to run out.
That's right, Red. Say, you were right before about the high cost of living.
Yeah?
And my butcher told me that pigs were so scarce they raised the price of hams.
Yeah?
Yeah, that reminds me. Why don't you ask for a raise?
I sure will. Oh, what's the use? Good night, everybody. I'll see you all next week.
Remember, friends, during the week when you ask for Avalon cigarettes,
don't forget your change.
So why not always travel on with Avalon?
Yes, you'd never guess, but Avalon's cost only 10 cents plus city or state tax.
be with us next Saturday evening at this same time when the Brown & Williamson Tobacco Corporation will again present Avalon Time. Del King speaking. Good night.
It's new. It's amazing. It's Prell. P-R-E-L-L. Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Prell brings you The Life of Riley. Prell, the shampoo that removes unsightly dandruff in as little as 3 minutes and leaves hair radiantly clean, radiantly lovely, presents The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. Deep down in his heart of hearts, Chester A. Riley loves marriage. But once a week, the male ego causes him to try and forget the trials and tribulations of being a husband and father, and reverts to bachelorhood. Tuesday night at 8, he and 4 of his cronies gather around the card table, and for the next 4 hours, they vainly attempt to delude themselves that they are once again free men.
Well, last week I lost a fortune.
Okay, fellas, let's get the game
Well,
going.
hey, wait a minute. Henry ain't here yet.
Didn't you hear, Riley?
Hear what, Gillis?
Henry ain't with us no more.
Poor Henry. He was a prince of a fella. Yeah, we're sure gonna miss him.
Well, what happened? I didn't hear anything.
It happened very sudden.
Oh, no. You mean Henry's dead?
No, married.
Oh, that's too bad. But I still don't get it. Just because he got hitched, he can't come to the game. We're all married.
His ball and chain won't let him. He told me maybe in a couple of weeks he'll talk her around, but I'm dubious.
Henry's making a big mistake. He's a goner. With wives, you gotta break them in right from the start when they're young colts. You gotta keep a firm grip on the reins.
Well, I agree with you up to a point, Gillis, but you can't go too far. When you marry a girl, you ain't exactly getting a horse.
Maybe you didn't, but did you ever see my wife eat?
Well, personally, I got a wonderful wife in my Peg. We've been married 18 years, and I like her better all the time.
Yeah, your Peg is all right, if you happen to like a good-looking, pleasant type of woman.
Well, I guess us guys are lucky. That's because we got our wives trained.
Yeah, that's the ticket, Joe. And the women are happier that way, too.
There's a guy I know, married 20 years.
Yeah.
Every single night since they got married, he's been washing the dishes.
No kidding.
Honest. I was in their kitchen the other night, and I seen 2 aprons. One marked hers, and the other marked his.
Well, I heard worse things. I know a poor schmo. The minute the baby came, he did everything. He diapered it, he bathed it, he made the formula, he fed it the bottle.
Oh, go on.
On the level. Why, to this very day, the kid still calls him Mama. Deal the cards. I ain't the 1 cent. Oh, boy, what a rough day I had at the plant today.
Oh, you look tired, dear.
Yeah. Peg, darling, you want half the paper?
Oh, Riley, how can I read now? Can't you see I haven't finished the supper dishes?
Oh, yeah. Peg, you know something? Every night you're in the kitchen doing the dishes while I'm stretched out on the living room couch reading the paper. You know, that's selfish of me.
Oh, I don't mind.
No, it ain't fair. From now on, I'm reading here in the kitchen.
Well, are you sure I won't be in your way?
No, not at all. Just don't splash any water my way. Got on my new slacks. Well, let's see what's new in the world. 13-year-old Los Angeles youth elopes with 40-year-old divorcee. Junior!
I'm in my room, Pop.
Oh. Anybody with you?
What?
Oh, Riley, you must be out of your mind.
You can't be too careful.
Oh, this sink is blocked again. Sometimes I could scream.
You're a lucky woman, Peg.
I am, huh?
Yes, sir. Just listen to this. Mrs. Franklin X. Partridge, prominent Pasadena matron, charging mental cruelty, was granted a divorce today from her husband, the well-known sportsman and banker. They had been married 18 years. The court awarded Mrs. Partridge $3,000 a month alimony. Poor woman.
Oh, stop. You're making me cry.
Oh, you don't know how lucky you are. Just compare yourself to this woman. After 18 years of marriage, what does she wind up with?
$3,000 a month.
Yeah, but look at you. You've been married just as long, and look what you've got. Me.
Yeah. You in a blocked sink.
Mental cruelty, baloney. It's obvious what's wrong here. This woman's in the beauty parlor all morning, racetrack all afternoon, cocktail parties, dinner parties, lunching parties, tea dances, trips to New York, Palm Springs, London, Paris. This woman's got nothing to do. She's in a rut.
Well, tell her to move over. I'd like to get in that rut.
Believe me, she'd be a lot happier if she had a husband and kids to cook for and dishes to wash and beds to make and rugs to vacuum and shirts to iron. Oh, Peg, you're a lucky woman.
I know. I'd give 3 cheers if I had the strength.
Oh, Mother.
Oh, what is it, Babs?
Mother, that Cary Grant picture you've been wanting to see is playing around the corner.
Oh, I've been dying to see that movie.
Oh, we better hurry. The last showing goes on in 5 minutes.
Oh, well, I've still got all these dishes to do. You better go yourself.
No, you go, Peg.
Well, the dishes.
Now, don't you worry about the dishes.
Oh, thanks, dear.
Now, you go out and enjoy yourself. When you come back, you can do the dishes. Junior, where you going with that wash tub?
I've got Marilyn Morris's dog out in the garage. I'm going to wash it for her.
Oh, what for?
Well, so it'll be clean.
Well, why are you doing it?
Well, today Marilyn said she's my girl. Steady, she said, so... Well, I thought it'd be nice if I helped her out.
What kind of a boy are you? Are you trying to make Marilyn unhappy?
Unhappy?
Well, I can see it's about time I give you a few tips on how to handle your wife.
Me with a wife?
Well, it's never too soon to learn the ropes.
Don't worry, Pop. On the quarter a week you give me, I got enough trouble supporting myself.
Well, it won't hurt you to know anyway, so you listen good. Someday you and Marilyn might get married. Now, the way to keep a wife happy is to keep her busy.
Well, I know. Mom's always busy.
Well, I trained her that way from the beginning. Why do you think I never hired a maid to do all the work around the house?
Because a maid makes more than you do?
Well, that's one reason. But the real reason is to give your mother something to do, to keep her occupied, see?
Oh, is that why you never help Mom out with the dishes and things?
Well, certainly. Believe me, it isn't that I'm lazy or that I don't love her. It's for the sake of our marriage. Why, there's many a time when I'm lying in the hammock out in the backyard, sipping a cold drink and reading the paper. And from where I'm lying, I can see your mother bent over a wash tub, her hair falling over her eyes and the sweat pouring off her forehead. Believe me, son, it takes every ounce of willpower for me to say, Riley, lay here in this hammock and let the little woman enjoy it.
Was that you, Daddy?
Oh, hiya, Babs. Home from the movie so quick? Where's your mother?
Oh, in bed. She was so sleepy we didn't even wait for the end of the movie. Poor Mother, what a life.
What do you mean, poor mother? She's doing okay with her life. I only hope you do as good when you get married.
Oh, I'm never going to marry. I'm going to have a career. Marriage is all right for the older generation who have never known any other life than being a slave to a house and husband and children.
Babs, are you insinuating that your mother is nothing but a household dredge?
Well, isn't she? Have you noticed how tired Mother is at the end of the day?
Well, no, I'm always asleep when she finally comes to bed.
When you get down to it, what has she ever done but cook and sew and scrub and clean and bear you children?
Well, you're a fine one to talk. Where would you be if she didn't? And what's wrong with raising a family of kids? That's what's kept the human race going. My mother did it, and her mother before her did it, and her mother before her, and her mother, all the way down the line. And if they hadn't have done it today, I would have been a baboon.
Oh, I'm not denying that.
Well, you better not.
All I say is, how could a woman cultivate her mind if she's hemmed in by four walls and chained to a stove? In all the years Mother's been married, has she ever had a vacation?
Why, she's had plenty. Why, in 1945, she... back there in 1938, back in 1935, I remember in 1931, your mother had a 10-day vacation, no housework, no dishes, all meals served to her, didn't move a finger.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Well, you should. That was in the hospital the time you got born.
Oh, Daddy.
You've been reading too many books. It's making you think, and you got to stop it. Your mother is perfectly happy. She loves housework.
Oh, you're just rationalizing.
I've never been rational in my life. Your mother's perfectly satisfied with things. Why, she wouldn't be willing to change places even with Lana Turner. I might be willing, but she wouldn't. Do you really think she's unhappy? Lots of women do housework and... Oh, you're just a kid. You don't know what you're talking about. Your mother's a happy woman, and I'll prove it to you.
Daddy, where are you
I'm going to settle this once and for all.
Daddy, she's asleep.
Peg, wake up, darling.
Oh,
Peg, wake up, honey, Peg.
Huh? What? Oh, Riley. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just want to ask you something. Are you happy?
What?
Are you happy?
Chester Riley, do you mean to tell me you woke me up out of a sound sleep to ask me if... You're without a doubt the most thoughtless, the most inconsiderate man I've ever known.
I know all that, but tell me, Dumplin', are you happy with me?
Good morning, Mother. What time is it, Babs? It's almost 8:30. Dear, I overslept. Had such an awful time falling asleep again after your father woke me up. I'll get you your breakfast right away, dear. Oh, I've had my breakfast. You did? Yes, Daddy made it. He what? Oh, honest. Oh, he probably left that kitchen in a mess. Oh, no, he didn't. He did all the dishes and put them away. And now he's washing the floor. Your father? Uh-huh. My husband? Uh-huh.
Why, Dumplin', what are you doing out of bed?
Well, Riley, what's that tray for?
Well, that's your breakfast, sweetheart. I was just going to bring it to you in bed.
Babs, call the doctor.
Why? Are you sick, sweetheart? You've been working too hard. But from now on, it's going to be different. Here, you sit down here and eat your breakfast while it's hot. I'll make the beds now.
Riley, do you know what you're saying?
I know it's a little hard for you to understand, especially after the way I treated you all these years. But Babs understands, don't you, Babs?
Understand what? Now, if this is some kind of joke,
It's
Riley...
no joke, Peg. From now on, I just want you to cultivate your mind and be happy. For 18 years, you've done your share. Now it's my turn to cook and sew and scrub and clean and bear you children.
For radiantly attractive hair, folks everywhere recommend Prel. Yes, Prel, Procter & Gamble's Radiant Cream Shampoo with a handy tube has caught on like mad. And here's why.
At last I found something to make my hair radiantly soft and natural. Prel shampoo brings out all its hidden beauty and makes it so easy to set.
Prel's wonderful. Gets a fellow's scalp clean, removes embarrassing dandruff, and makes a man's hair look as clean as it should.
Once you use Prel, you'll never want to be without it again. First, because Prel leaves hair more radiant than any soap shampoo. Leaves it soft and smooth, free of dulling soap film. Second, Prel removes ugly dandruff in as little as 3 minutes. Doctors' examinations proved it. And Prel goes farther than any known shampoo, cream, or liquid because it's concentrated for economy. For that radiant, well-groomed look, wash your hair with Prel.
P-R-E-L-L, Prel shampoo.
And now back to the Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. It's late Monday afternoon, and in the neighborhood the Rileys live in, Monday is always wash day. And so in every backyard on Blueview Terrace, you can observe a busy little homemaker industriously taking in the snow-white wash off the lot. It's a sight to behold. In the yard of number 1309, for instance, there's something cute in a yellow apron. At 1311, there's something ravishing in a pink sunsuit. And at 1313, there's something gruesome in brown overalls.
There was a boy, a strange enchanted boy. Hey, Peg, I got all the stuff off the line.
Oh, that's good, dear. Just leave it in the kitchen.
All right. No, I may as well iron it, too. Hey, Peg, how do you know when the iron's hot?
Well, test it to see if it sizzles.
Oh, well, that's easy.
Oh! Oh, Riley, not with your tongue.
Well, I'm still new at this sort of thing.
Now, really, dear, you don't have to do my ironing. I'm perfectly happy.
Peg, I insist. You're taking it easy from now on. Why don't you go to a movie tonight, huh?
Well, if I had somebody to go with, but Babs is...
Well,
excuse me, dear.
Huh.
Hello? Oh, hello, dear.
Well, who is it, Peg?
Oh, it's Honeybee Gillis. Oh. No, I'm not busy, Honeybee. Oh, my ironing's being taken care of. No, not the laundry. Riley's doing it. Yes, Honeybee, I said Riley's doing it. And that's not all. He's washed my dishes, scrubbed the floor, and made the bed. No, he didn't get his head caught in the bus door again. No, it's all his idea. Oh, say, how about a movie tonight? Oh, well, why should you hang the curtains? Get Gillis to do it. Well, I don't see why not. If Riley can, why shouldn't he? Okay, I'll drop by for you in a little while. I'll call Connie and Ada and see if they want to come, too. All right, goodbye.
You going to the cinema, Dumpling?
Well, yes, but... Oh, I feel guilty leaving you here with all this ironing.
Oh, don't you worry about it. I'll take tomorrow night off. I got my poker game.
Riley, why are you doing all this?
Well, I told you, Peg, I just want you to be happy. I always did, but I had the wrong slant. Thank heaven I found out in time that my good looks ain't enough.
I raise you 2 cents.
I see you.
What do you got?
Straight.
Pair of jacks. Take the dough. Yeah, your deal, Sam.
Okay, give me the card. Hey, wait. Look out the window.
Right.
He's coming to the game.
He's got the knife to show up here after what he's done?
What gall? That no good traitor.
Fellas, we got to put Riley in his place once and for definite. We ignore him.
Okay. I'm dealing.
Well, hiya, gang. I made it just in time. Deal me in, Sam. Hey, Sam, you forgot to... No, never mind. You get me on the next round.
I drop.
I bet.
You win, Gillis.
Lester, you deal.
Well, what's new, guys? Hey, Lester, you forgot to... Oh, well, never mind. You get me on the next round.
I open for a nickel.
Check. I'll see you.
I'll take 1 card.
I'll take 5.
Well, what's new, fellas?
I check.
Save your money, Gillis. I got a royal flush.
Lucky dog, you just beat me.
Hey, I tell you what. Let's make this round deuce as well. I got a $1/2 burning a hole in my pocket. Hey, Gillis, you forgot to... Oh, well, you get me on the... Hey, wait a minute. What's going on here?
I open for 2 cents.
Gillis, talk to me.
I raise you 3 cents.
Joe, Sammy.
I see you 3, and I raise you 2.
Fellas, what are you trying to do? Why are you acting like this? You've been treating me just like we treated Billy Getz when we found out he bet against the Dodgers. Fellas, can't you hear me?
You hear anything, Joe?
No. But I smell something.
That's me. My cigar. I'm Riley. Fellas, what did I do? Speak to me.
I had enough of this. This character can't take a hint.
I don't understand. Why don't you love me anymore? What did I do?
You know what you've done. You made slaves out of all of us.
No, I didn't.
You've been waiting for your wife, ain't you? Well, your wife told my wife, and my wife told Joe's wife, and Joe's wife told Sam's wife. And now they got us doing it. Look at me. I'm getting flat feet from standing at the ironing board.
And how about me? I scrubbed so many pots with steel wool, my fingers are worn down to the elbows.
But I didn't mean no harm. I was only trying to do the right thing by my sweet Peg.
You had no business stirring up our wives. Why don't you let sleeping dogs lie?
Well, don't you want your wife to be happy?
Well, sure, but not at our expense. We had them all trained, but you had to be a wise guy. And in one night, you tore down 20 years of work. You're through, Riley. Anyhow, washed up. So get away from us and stay away, you wife lover.
Oh, what a mess. I only wanted to be a good husband. I never thought I'd be dropped by my best friends.
Why not? I dropped some of my best friends.
Who's that?
It is I, Digby Odell, the friendly undertaker. Greetings, Riley. You're looking fine. Very natural.
Well, hiya, Digger. What's new?
Oh, nothing much. Same old thing every day. You know me. I'm always in a rut.
Well, at least you're making dough.
No, I'm just breaking even. Whatever I take in goes out a few days later.
I guess it's tough to run a business these days.
Ah, yes, costs are high. Do you know what I have to pay a pallbearer? $2 an hour, and time and a half for overweight.
Digger, I've got my own troubles, all on account of I helped Peg with her housework.
And what's wrong with that? I help my dear spouse around the house, and she helps me in the shop. Why, without her, I wouldn't know who was coming or going.
Well, Peg ain't really the problem. It's the gang. Their wives found out what I was doing, so now they're making them work. Now the guys are sore. They're snubbing me.
Ah, man's inhumanity to man. Cheer up, Riley. I once wrote a little poem on this very problem. I quote, "When a man looks down on me, my friend, I admit the world seems grim. But I don't despair, for in the end, I'll look down on him."
But I like these guys. If I could only square myself with them.
The love of your wife is more important, believe me.
If I could make them think that I was really boss in my house, you know, order Peg around. But I'd have to do it without Peg knowing about it. Hey, I got it. I got one chance.
That's the spirit. As we say in our profession, where there's life, there's hope.
Yes, sir, and there's another saying. You can't keep a good man down.
Would you care to bet? Well, cheerio. I'd better be shoveling off.
Oh, hiya, Bob.
Listen, Junior, is your mother home?
Oh, no, she went out.
Hey, you're sure now?
I'm sure.
Good. Oh, I hope it works.
What works?
Well, I've got a little plan, but, Junior, you got to help me.
What kind of a plan?
Well, it's kind of complicated, but all you have to do is this. Whenever I say now, you say, yes, dear, but in a high voice.
Yes, dear.
Yeah, only high, like a girl.
Yeah, but why?
You know, to look at me, you wouldn't think I was smart.
Well, I think you're smart.
You do? Well, how do you know?
You're always telling me.
Yeah, but now I'm going to prove it to you. Watch how I operate. You'll learn something. Someday you'll be married.
Hello?
Hello, Gillis?
Who's that?
It's me, Riley.
I don't want to talk to you.
But I've got something important to say.
Well, say it and say it fast.
Well, hold the wire a minute. My wife just came in, and there's something I got to tell her that can't wait.
Your wife?
Mom didn't come in.
Shh, I know. Yeah, just hold the wire. Hey, get in the kitchen right away and do those dishes. I'm sick and tired of doing the dirty work around this house. I'm the boss here, and you do what I say. Now, Junior. Oh, but Pop, now.
Yes, dear.
And that's not all you'll get if you don't do like I say. You still on, Gillis?
Yeah, come on.
Just hold the wire. And after you're through with the dishes, Peg, I want you to press my suits. I don't see why I have to pay the tailor good money when I got you around. So get moving. Now, Junior.
Yes, dear.
I'll learn you the next time I say move, you move. Now get to work. Hello, Gillis. I'm sorry to keep you on the line, but I had a little matter to settle with the missus that just couldn't wait.
Yeah, I heard.
You got something to say to me, Gillis?
No, but there's someone here who has.
Hello, Riley.
What a revolting development this is.
Folks, ask your friends and you'll find it's Prell. Prell. Wonderful Prell. Amazing Prell. Procter & Gamble's Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. People with dry hair, oily hair, gray hair, they all love it. Loretta Flannery, a nurse who lives in the Bronx, New York, says,
My gray hair has never looked so lovely as it has since using Prell. And I've done away with special rinses, too. I'm really delighted with Prell's results.
Try Prell yourself. You'll love it, too. First, because Prell leaves hair more radiant than any soap shampoo. Second, because Prell removes unsightly dandruff in as little as 3 minutes. Ask for Prell shampoo.
Prell shampoo leaves hair radiant, clean and bright. Not a bit of dandruff is in sight. Comes in a tube, handy too. Prell Prell shampoo.
Oh, honest, Riley. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Just so you could get back in that poker game, you tried to make people believe that you could holler at me and get away with it.
Oh, Peg. That was just a gag. Nobody'd ever believe that I'd holler at you while you were around. I mean, well, you know what I mean. Gee, I was desperate. I just had to get back in that poker game. Those guys are all my friends.
Well, you can stop worrying about it. You're back in. I fixed it.
You did? Oh, we'll all be back together again. Pals, the 4 of us.
The 8 of us.
8?
Yes, dear. See, now that you boys are helping us with the housework, we girls are going to have so much free time on our hands, we decided we might as well be in on the poker game, too.
It's a losing fight.
You know, friends, when we read statistics about traffic accidents, that 32,000 people were killed and 1,000 people were killed and 1,100,000 more injured in 1947, we're inclined to feel it's a warning to someone else. Actually, it should be a warning to you and me, to every pedestrian, to every driver of a motor vehicle. Procter & Gamble invites you to join us again next week to hear The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. William Bendix is currently starring in the Babe Ruth story and a live artist picture. The script is by Alan Lipscott and Reuben Ship. Mrs. Riley is Paula Winslow, Digger Odell is John Brown, Babs is Barbara Eiler. The Life of Riley is produced by Irving Brucker. And remember, for radiantly clean, lovely hair, get the shampoo in the tube. P-R-E-L-L, Prell Shampoo.
Wonderful ivory snows, so wonderful for lovely nylons, lingerie, and sweaters. Yes, now your pretty things can stay lovely longer with Ivory Snow Care. And your hands will tell you why. Just wash dishes with Ivory Snow as millions prefer to do. When you see how Ivory Snow pampers your hands, you'll know why it's extra kind to pretty washables. And Ivory Snow is granulated for instant sudsing, too, even in cool water. Ivory Snow is the only soap, both Ivory Mild and granulated for efficiency. There's no other soap like it. So use the soap especially made for dainty things. Remember, lovely washables can stay lovely longer with wonderful Ivory Snow.
And this is Ken Niles reminding you to listen every Friday night when Procter & Gamble brings you a solid hour of laughs. First, Red Skelton, and then The Life of Riley. Good night.